already got some. I've got some memes queued up for us, and just got to keep an eye on when or if. I was just about to say whether we got Camille or Nate showing up.
Camille.
Yeah, sorry.
Welcome.
Well, hi. I had to log in all over again, so it took me a second.
That's okay. We literally just got started. I press go live, and I was like, I've got some stuff queued up, and we'll just see. It's like, oh, Camille, yes, excellent.
Hooray! Yep, you've got me for the next 51 minutes.
All right, sweetness. Woohoo! I mean, I don't really see anyone who's joined us right here, but that's okay because we can do whatever we want. It's our live stream. Oh yeah,
dude! I've been putting some points into my breaching speed.
Hold on.
Pretty nice.
Nate said he'd come later.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll likely be late. All right, fair enough.
And I'm eating dinner.
Oh, totally fine.
Yep.
Oh no.
All right.
Being bad.
Oh, Scooty Booty. Yeah, Scooty Booty's like, yeah. Whoa, go. Let's go.
Kill him.
All right. Well, time to wreck a chat. Scott,
I'm the only one in the chat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can do whatever I want in the chat. Yeah. But Scott, I really want to try out one of these days the idea that you shared about a warlock who doesn't have a known patron and basically just does whatever the intrusive thoughts tell them to do. And so the YouTube chat becomes the intrusive thoughts.
Oh no, that would be horrendous.
It would be. It'd be amazing.
Ooh, we're talking about Ichi the Witch. Oh man, I love that.
I say I need to actually stick it out through Ichi the Witch. I kind of got turned off like in the very first chapter. It just did not click with me. But the same thing happened with Jujutsu Kaisen. And Jujutsu Kaisen is a good story until you get to the last arc.
I have that issue. I mean, I need to catch up. I'm ways behind on Ichi, but like, that's a fun one. But I want to do writing memes. Like, we had so much fun last week.
Oh, I already delivered it.
Oh yeah. No, my rant about Odor of the Flame will come about once Nathan and Camille have had their chance to have their fun with us and everything, because I know I'm the only person who cares about that manga in this group.
Right. Yeah, literally don't know anything about it.
Yeah. So the only the context I can give for it is just that you have a creator who's been wanting to do like an epic fantasy for a long time. His first epic fantasy just tanked in Japan because I guess the Japanese were just like, European fairy tales, don't really care about them all that much. And so after getting axed, he came back again with like, well, people really love Vikings, so here's a Viking story. And people are all like, but does it have a battle school? It's like, come on.
Interesting.
Janice Murray Audio says, no, you need to read Ichi. Nishi Sensei is known to anyone to Oda. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Nishi Sensei is known as the female Oda. Now that is high praise. But since we've got Camille and then later Nate on for just a short amount of time, shall we start jumping into writing memes, or is there anything, Camille, that you wish to express? Writing challenges, writing frustrations, writing progress?
Hi. I know it has been a long time. Not necessarily. I really just, my writing has been academic based as of late, so not very exciting.
Oh man, that sucks. I actually like academic writing.
Oh yeah, no, I don't hate it. I've been enjoying the types of assignments I've been doing, but it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as fun.
Yeah,
So,
I will admit, Camille's harem helped me to get through grad school. I don't know how well I would have done without you guys.
is that just for like the moral support?
The moral support, and I definitely needed a challenge, like because you especially were like, okay, we're gonna be writing. We're gonna try to write so much, and then when we had the whole ice cream sandwich to the face thing,
Mm-hmm.
it was really good to have something like that to distract me from the fact that I had to read 3 books every week. I had to write 3 essays every week, and at the same time get ready for a thesis that I was doomed to fail because my professors had already determined beforehand that I wasn't going to pass.
Sheesh. Yeah, I remember you doing all your thesis stuff, and that was just like a slow train wreck.
Oh yeah. I wish I had relied more on the professors in the language department to try to back me up. Like I should have done that. If I had I can't remember his last name, but he was the Italian professor. His first name was Benito. If I had Benito to like back me on up, because that guy, he had tenure, he had pull, and yes, he was from a different department, but that guy would have brought Italian fire and fury down on everyone. And his wife was the Arabic teacher.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and she also was just incredibly supportive, as was also the Japanese professor. So like I had professors in my corner, just not from my department.
Yeah, that's so
Just
frustrating.
Yeah, so I hope that your program is going way better.
So far, yes, but I feel because I'm just such in an early stage. Maybe it's too soon to tell, but I also don't have to do like a thesis based.
Hello.
Like it's not a thesis based program, thankfully,
fellows.
so less stress in that regard.
Oh, there's really cold.
I'm kind of wishing I was able to do a thesis. I literally got to my last semester of school, and my thesis class basically, which we only had 4 students in it because it was like really specialized. It was the one class the teacher decided to drop and just give us an automatic pass because COVID hit. And so like I didn't actually get to do a lot of that stuff. I was just given an automatic pass, which like yay pass, but I'm like I was actually looking forward to the challenge of that one.
Yeah, that's actually easy A, but at the same time it's like, oh, I'm so glad I paid money to learn nothing from this class.
Right. Well, and it sucks too because there was so many there were other classes I was in that they're like, oh, we're gonna do like a river rafting trip, and that's gonna be part of one of the classes. And I'm like, heck yeah! And then COVID happened. It got canceled. Another trip we were having for like event planning at the Tempe Art Festival, that also got canceled. Like there was so much that semester that like it was so sad.
Oh man, that is depressing.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, that's very rough. Awful timing.
Literally all that I had left after that was I had to take a mountain biking course, and then I had to take a wilderness medicine certification, and that was all I needed for the rest of my degree. But still, I was sad.
Mm-hmm. All right, Tess. That's because any of you ever take a course thinking it'd be relatively easy, but it turned out to be harder than life itself? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Holy crap! I even know which one it is, and it shouldn't have been this hard, but it was, and it was horrible because of the professor. It was the history of Europe from 1900 to 1945. And I'm like, that's my jam. Yes, World War One to World War Two. Yes. Oh my gosh. That professor, she was ancient. She was ancient. She could barely operate an overhead projector. You know, like the old, like just flip the switch and the blinding light comes on. She couldn't even do that. She's like, this finagle technology. And like at the moment she said that, her TA nearly fainted from shock. She's like, madam, all you just need to do is just press this button and the light comes on. What? What? And every single class, she struggled with that one single switch. And she somehow figured out ways of making every single topic boring. Women's rights, boring. War, boring. The rise of communism, boring. And I'm just like, how are you still around?
Wow. Yeah, that would suck. I definitely found out after like 2 semesters, I think. Like, do your research on the professors. Like, it makes a big difference if you're able to choose which one you're taking. Because I definitely had some where, like, that were fantastic, but others are just like, I'm really not getting anything out of this class.
Holy cow.
That's honestly how I felt about my last class. I felt like it was mostly me teaching myself.
Oof. Wow. What was that class on?
That was my understanding research class. So it was the one where I had to focus. It was all like spawned around a singular research proposal that I had to make and present by the end of the term. But I had to like learn the process of proper research and writing a research paper over and over again. It was very interesting in a lot of ways, don't get me wrong, but then when I tried to explain it to people, I'm like, that sounds very boring. But it was basically like how to write a research proposal, and I had to choose something based in like information and library science, or under the umbrella of that field.
Huh.
Well, let's do this thing.
Man.
But yeah, I'd like the least helpful professor.
That's so frustrating. Say a class on research can be very cut and dry and boring, but it can also be really interesting. Again, if you have the right professor, and you've got the wrong professor, it's the absolute worst. I was lucky in my undergrad to have a really at least a very encouraging professor, maybe not the most inventive when it came to research, but he was a very encouraging guy.
Yeah,
and so it felt nice to know that the professor was on your side.
Right. And that was the thing is like, I remember like trying to, I emailed her, I had a question about my assignment because I gotten a good grade on it, but she left a comment that I was like, I don't understand this feedback, and I tried to ask clarification on it, and she was basically like, well, this is a grad level course, so you figure it out. Was basically
you gotta kill
more or less what she was saying. I was like, okay, sure, this it's fine. I don't know why you're getting paid to do this because you're not doing anything. But yeah, so that basically sums up my first class into my grad degree. Fun stuff.
Yeah, fun stuff. I got tenure. They can't get rid of me.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah. I see from arts, the horrible adventure with the biology 101 class. Hard ass professor. At least graded on a curve. I was just going to say for a lab class for a class with the lab, though this goes back to high school. My chemistry teacher gave us the option, and I took this option because I'm like, I suck at your tests. Chemistry just goes over my head. Applied chemistry, I'm a little bit better at. So he's like, yeah, you can ride. He's like, look, you're the last two big things we do in this class will make up 40% of your overall grade. 20% is the final exam, and 20% is the final project. Or you can try to ride your entire 40% block on your final project. Your choice. I'm like, project! I will ride 40% of my grade on that project. And he allowed me and my friends to do an experiment, a series of experiments involving a potato cannon. Not on school grounds. He didn't allow us to bring the potato cannon to school grounds, but after school, like, he gave us a bunch of stuff to put into that potato cannon and just blow up potatoes. It was amazing.
That is beautiful. Oh, it's fun when you've got a professor that's willing to like let you have a little bit of fun like that in the class.
Oh yeah. All right, shall we start diving then into some writing memes?
Some writing memes sound fantastic.
Yes, please.
Yes. All right. So let's see here. We will go with this one right here. This one made me absolutely laugh when I first saw it.
God, you get so much loot on solo runs.
I'm going to be honest. I will go out of my way to not use either of those words in my writing
Same.
for this exact reason.
Same.
Yeah. Oh, this one is yes. I also will try to avoid using effect or effect unless I'm using it as a noun. Because then I know it's always going to be with E.
Okay, smart, valid.
Yeah.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
say the A and the E changes in the verb form depending on if it is depending on if it's a reflexive situation, which in English goes over most people's heads because that's not part of how we learn grammar. Like, seriously, who here in an English class remembers learning about reflexive verbs? I know I didn't. I didn't even hear that term until I learned German.
Yeah, actually. Yep. Same. With French.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is one of the rare instances in the English language where the reflexive nature comes into play. If you don't know what that is,
oh, I'm good.
That's just part of us being raised, especially as Americans.
Huh.
Oh, Art's got it. No, we never talked about reflexive verbs in any English class I took. Okay, yeah, see exactly. We have them in English, we just never identify them. And yeah, well, there you have it. Though there is a brief lesson to get out of this. Oh, like if you're unsure about a word that you wish to use, like if at any point in time you doubt your word choice, no shame, go and look it up. You are not a bad writer. You are not weak if you go and look up a word. Like I've had to do that multiple times. I got humbled by my cousin when he was reviewing one of my books. So like, yeah, a moniker is not the same as an alias. And that was one of my big mistakes. A moniker is not an alias.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Dude, it's
okay. Also,
Yeah.
I just looked up, for the sake of everyone, I just looked up the difference between affect and effect, and Reddit is coming through because someone was like explain this to me like I'm a child.
Upper ranks are there.
So let's see this up. Usually, affect is a verb. Quote, this affects or affected me, while effect is a noun. The effect this had on me was huge.
Yeah, dude.
It's a bit like advise is a verb and advice is a noun. Oh.
Okay.
So
Interesting. Okay.
well, there's the guy that kills the girl. Like the first
to
upper rank that
complicate
kills
things,
the girl.
affect can be a noun,
Well, actually,
meaning
you have
emotion as a
because you have him, you have the lady that plays the guitar
flat
thing
affect,
in
and
the
effect
Infinity
can
Castle.
be a verb, meaning to make happen, as in he affected change in the company. Is that what you were referring to with
Yes.
reflexive verbs?
Yes. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of that.
Interesting. I'm just gonna pretend that I'll never use it in
Yeah.
a sentence as a reflexive verb and call it a day.
It's like with semicolons is like, I don't want to just, I don't know really how to use this, so I'm just not going to touch it.
I love me a good semicolon.
I love putting in semicolons, but there's also times where I'm like, okay, is a period work here better? Yes. If I know that the two sentences are definitely linked in terms of theme, then I'll put in a semicolon if I'm feeling fancy.
Yeah, that is how risky and daring of you.
Yeah. I like the effect this is having on our conversation. Thank you, Arts. Oh, another one. Another instance. This actually happened just this week. And suddenly the word is beginning to retreat from me. I believe it was solicitude. And now I'm like, wait a second, why was I even using the word solicitude? To which then I was like, did I spell that right? I looked and I found I spelt it right, but for another version of the word. Then there's 3 different ways of of saying it. And I was just like, yeah. But solicitude, care or concern for someone or something. And that makes sense because I was using it as a very fancy way of saying that one character was concerned about another character. But it's very, very easy to misspell that word and to make it sound like they're selling something.
Oh.
Yep. Which is what I had done. I had misspelled the word to make it become to sale rather than to be concerned. So again, when you're doing your own writing, if you feel like you might have written a word wrong or misused a word, just go and look it up. Use a dictionary, use a thesaurus, ask Google. Don't trust AI. AI will lie to you about how to use words. Right, words. I have tried a couple of times seeing what AI has to say. It's wrong 50% of the time.
No, yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, do not use the overview. The AI overview cannot be trusted.
Yeah.
Solicitude.
The state of being concerned and anxious. Okay.
Yes.
So the solicitude. Yeah, wow, that feels like a completely new word to me. Interesting.
Yeah, no, and I'll be honest, it's a word I would normally not use. It was just in the moment as I was writing, I was like, I can get fancy. I do believe I once heard this word. And so I put it in there. I was like, wait. And I went back and looked it up. Yes, that is indeed the word, well, with a C, Arts. Yeah, solicitude. Camille and Scott have got it in there. Yep.
Lars, I think your skin's starting to turn purple there.
Say what?
The purple prose, it's turning your skin purple.
Oh, yeah.
You're turning into Thanos.
Well, then I'll do it myself, which is funny because I'm writing a novella and I am working really, really hard to keep it within 40,000 words. And that's where the big words are coming out from because I'm like, okay, a big word can mean a sentence. All right. Let's see here. Another meme. I got this one. Being a writer means having a story you want the whole world to read except everyone who knows you. Oh, wait, actually, I already used this one from last week.
Yeah, we did that one last week.
Oh, then another one. I'm removing you at the same time. Me, I'm a writer. What do you write? That's not how it works.
I mean, you can specialize, but like, there's also times where like, yeah, I'm procrastinating or got writer's block and I'm not writing at all. So I don't know.
So I had this moment this weekend, this last weekend. I went to a very, very small book fair in town. And it was a neat little one. It was definitely catering more towards like the very local, very niche artists and authors, and yeah, it was really, really nice. Lots of lovely people. And I got into a conversation with one author, and I dropped, "Yeah, I'm also an author." And so she's like, "Oh, what do you write?" And I'm like, "Well, let's see here. I write epic fantasy, steampunk. I do fairy tale retellings. I got one book that really doesn't have a genre to it." And as I was saying this, like, she was just like, "Don't talk to me anymore, please." It's like, sorry.
You gotta elevator pitch it.
Yeah. So what do you write? Imagine a world where an author is unable to find his way through the regular man, I'm already screwing up. Imagine a world where an author is unable to get his works published through a traditional publishing house, which means he is unrestricted. So I can write whatever I want. And that's what I've been doing for the last 11 books.
I mean, that's one way to put it.
Yeah. Though here's it now. Then, what I will say to this, where I think this actually, where I interpret this meme coming from, is that when someone asks, "Well, what do you write?" the you find yourself put into an awkward position where you're like, does this person want me to tell them all about my story? Because I'm willing to do that, but it might be an overload. Or is this person just asking what kind of stories I write? And in either way, it's all like, I might be setting myself up for a very awkward conversation where either I am dumping a load of information on someone who didn't ask for it, or I make it seem like I don't do anything.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like a lot of the time people are just asking to be nice, so it's usually the latter in that situation. And so they're like, "Oh, cool, that's nice." And then they're like, write stuff like Brandon Sanderson or Token and whatnot. And you're just like, I mean, it's great to be compared to them, but my stuff is my stuff, and their stuff is their stuff. Like, there is a separation there.
Trinkets, lockets,
Interesting.
sockets, and
Yeah.
22
And I think
slots.
I think too, though, it's like
Big.
really hard not
Big
to
deal.
undersell your stuff when people ask you that question,
Mm-hmm.
which you shouldn't have to do that, but I just think that's a very, I don't know. There's a line between like pretentious and like, no, talk about what you're writing and how you feel about it.
Yeah. Well, and I've had moments where I've like tried to explain like to family members or like other people like the story I'm currently writing at the moment, and you could just see them like lose interest partway through the conversation.
Oh yeah,
And
like their eyes start to glaze over.
Yep.
Yep.
And you're just like, let's change the subject. I know I'm not done, but like,
right, yep.
You don't want to listen to this.
Yeah, that is painfully relatable.
Yeah, or one of the and actually I've got a meme. I've got a meme for that. I'll actually swap it on over.
Okay.
Right here, because I feel like this is a good segue into this particular one. So yeah, and not just creative writing majors, but when you tell people that you're an author or that you're a writer, like, people will immediately have different ideas of what you do, and I've basically been called out as, so you're unemployed.
Yeah, right.
And it's just like, that's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
And but it's like to which my rejoinder is, Yes, but how many authors can say that they've written so many books? And then to which then the person countered, well, how many have you sold? And it's like,
that's so rude.
it's rude, but I'm like, but you know, when I'm asked that, I answer honestly. I'm like, I definitely don't sell many books. It's a very hard business.
Yeah.
And I use that, and then I use that, and it then starts like, it's a great way to start turning the tables on them, because then I start explaining, like, yeah, this is what all goes into it. This is why a publishing house is so very important, but this is why it's so difficult to get taken on by a publishing house. This is the work that you have to do to make it happen. And the moment that someone realizes that there's a buttload of work that goes into making just one book possible, they shut up. Because most people think that books just magically happen.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, that's how I think those questions are kind of rude, because they're coming. I don't know. They can come off as like dismissive or even like ignorant of just what goes into it. But also, like, I think we treat things like writing different than if you were to ask me the same question and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm really into crocheting, or, you know, name any other hobby or interest you might have. But then when it comes to writing, people get weird about it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of negative connotations there. It's just like the epitome of the starving, struggling artist right there. And it's that view, that trope is looked down negatively. Is like, oh, you're not like actually contributing to society that way. You're not actually like part of like capitalism at that point,
right? And it's like, which is awful, because it's like, you know, you should just be able to create just for the sake of creating.
Exactly.
Any form of art.
That's a major part of it. Like, part of my thing is, I love writing. I love doing all sorts of other creative stuff. But like, a lot of the time, it's how I de-stress. It's how I handle like stuff happening in my life. Is I get creative and like let myself kind of work through the issues in my own way in my head while I'm like making stuff. And honestly, for me, that's enough. I do at some point want to actually finish a story, but I keep getting distracted by too many different ideas. That's one of my weaknesses, but I understand it.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. I think it's just like a weirdly misunderstood thing, and I always have to wonder, like, people who ask those things or they react in that way. It's like,
oh, well, thanks.
Have you ever tried doing any sort of creative writing? Like,
right.
Like, because if you haven't, then you have no room to knock its validity. And if you had, like, I don't know. I just think it's such it's very interesting to see the spectrum of how people react.
Fucking rabbits,
right? Exactly.
There's actually something missing from this meme that I would include in this, and it is what other authors think I do.
Ooh,
yeah.
Because and I'm guilty of this as well. We tend to judge how other people write based on our own writing abilities and experiences.
Yeah. And
so, like, I know for myself, I cannot hold anyone else to my standard of writing. Like, that's just not feasible.
Yeah.
Everyone is in a completely different situation. And I recently had an experience with my oldest sister's mother-in-law, I was having another conversation about one of the books I was working on. I'm like, yeah, and I just recently published The White Snake. And she turned to me and she's like, how many books have you done? And I'm like, I've published 11. I'm working on multiple other books right now. And then she just suddenly, and this woman is prone to over exaggeration, but like, she literally leaned back in her chair and like clutched as if trying to clutch at her pearls. And she's like, how It took me 3 years to write one book. How have you been able to do so much? And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, like, it also takes me about 3 years to write a book.
You're also working on multiple at the same time, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm working on multiple at the same time. But I'm just, but like, it was unfathomable to her that someone could be prolific like that. And like, that's just a little, like, it's a little silly. When authors meet, when authors get together, don't judge another author based off of what you do.
Yeah, that certainly makes sense.
I agree, and I also agree that Lars is a workhorse.
You good?
Yep.
And
Well,
it isn't a bad thing, definitely. It's very impressive.
Man, I felt so derailed this week. I was on a high writing this week, and then family issues started coming up, and it just caused everything to start tumbling. I'm like, ah, dang it.
Great way to disrupt the flow.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
No, I was just gonna say, and I'm trying to get this book done within the month. So
You know how to do this?
I'm getting there, but
Like, yeah,
all right.
yeah.
I got another one for you guys. Not sure if I'm screwed up because I'm a writer, or if I'm a writer because I'm screwed up.
I mean,
yes,
there is part of that saying of write what you know, and it's like all of like your internal traumas, all of your internal like life experiences and your thoughts and like everything that makes you you, it's gonna somehow make it onto the page in some form or another. And so yes, the answer is just yes.
Yep. Something that Camille said earlier made me actually think of this meme, or maybe it was actually no, it was you, Scott, of how like writing makes you realize, oh, I've got certain things like writing what you know. I'm like, oh, and I can work through this. I think that as we write, and if we try to get more into depth with our characters start becoming kind of a mirror to us.
Oh yeah.
And we realize, like, oh, yeah, that yes, I have gone to like for instance, in my series, The Legend of the Ten Lords, Gary has been such a hard character to write. And slight spoiler alert, his active role in the series ends in the 4th book. But he was a hard character to write for because it meant having to go back to awkward times in high school and in college where I knew people who were like Gary, and sometimes I was way too close to them, closer than I should have been. And then there are other times where I think, like, when have I displayed Gary-like tendencies?
Mm-hmm.
And coming to realize that, like, a monster like Gary, this absolute jerk who wishes to possess and manipulate Jessica, one of the main characters, and just the creepy ways, not only in which he stalks her, but that he transforms her in his own mind to become something that she isn't, and that he then tries to impress that image, that self-serving image, onto her. And if she doesn't buy into it, he then tries to find a way to convince her or punish her because of that. That is something that just happens, unfortunately, way too often. And I think that's one of those things that when you realize that's just an uncomfortable place as an author to put yourself into, because you're like, yeah, I've either been there, or I know people who have been subjected to that, or I know people like Gary. Oh my gosh, why don't I just, like one of my characters in this book, just turn around and break his nose, or break their nose, or break my nose, and to be like, no, stop, no, that's bad.
I mean, there's something to writing though. It's just like you have stuff in your head, you have ideas, you have different ways you wish you could express yourself, but you can't. And like writing's a way to like get that out there, put that on a page, get it outside of your head so you can actually think about it more. Because I've definitely had things along that route and have definitely like helped me figure out my own like identity and life philosophy in that way, and it's been brought about because of like writing I've done in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not necessarily from
Well,
like
you can totally win
what
this.
I
You can
put
totally
onto
win
the
this.
page, but like the thought process of like what I was writing and like thinking through the characters and then like thinking through like why I'm making this kind of character, like it's definitely gone through my mind and like helped me identify and figure out my own self at times.
I think that is extremely relatable, though. Like, I think some of our best stories and our best characters are ones where we can see ourselves in them. Because that really means you've been
Let's go
deconstructing who this character is, and they're their own person,
Hell
but
yeah.
they still like
Nice work.
hold a piece of you because
Yeah.
you've been
I
subconsciously
do.
like putting that into your writing.
Right. Well, and I feel like it's not just for writing. I feel like this kind of bleeds over into D&D a lot too, because a lot of people joke about, oh, I'm playing this character, but then like they get playing the character and realize, oh, I've got some interesting like trauma there that I didn't realize, and playing like role playing this character really helped me figure it out. Like, for example, something I figured out about myself is I'm like so shy and introverted at times. I want to be smaller than I actually am, and I'm 6'5". I'm over 300 pounds, but like my past like 3 characters or so have been super small little guys, and I'm like, I wonder what that says about me.
Interesting. That's fascinating.
I love Lennox. I love your little bunny guy.
Well, there's Lennox, but then there was Emil before that, and like both of them, like a gnome and like a Haringon,
We'll see if there's any.
like rabbit person, but like they're both short, like 4'5", 4'6", and I'm like, I am figuring something out about myself that I didn't realize before.
Yeah. And then something that Art's put in here. I thought about incorporating moments from my childhood into different stories I'm thinking of. I had 3 brothers, 3 sisters, and damn, did we fight and do stupid things over the years. There's many a road trip up and down the East Coast to draw from, and for this year's Choose Your Own Horror Adventure story, I drew on family lore from camping trips to create that particular story. So like going up to Big Lake, Arizona, there was one time that a bear was lured into the campsite by a stupid camper who wanted to see a bear. So she laid out a trail of fruit. So I brought that into the story, and then also I definitely cranked up the spooky aspect to 11 in comparison to what happened to my mom. But after being told by one of the rangers that there were some bears in the area, so everyone needs to be careful, some of the other campers were all like, "Oh my gosh, what if a bear walks in tonight?" And one guy was like, "Don't worry, my dogs will bark and let everyone know if there's a bear nearby." And so these dogs were barking all night long. So she was thinking that a bear was wandering up to the tent where I was with most of my family. She was she was in the van with my youngest sister at the time, and there was this large boulder next to the car that in the dark just looked like a bear. And so the entire night she's like, "There's a bear next to the car." Ah! And then when the sun came up, it's like, "Oh, never mind. It's just a boulder." And so you can easily take various moments from your life, either the funny ones or the messed up ones, that you can then incorporate into your writing in different ways.
Well, and sometimes you don't even realize that like stuff you've done in your life is completely unique to you. And like it's your life. You might think that it's, oh, there's so many other people that have similar experiences, and there might be, but right near where you're at, how likely is that to be? Like there's like everybody's lives are so unique in their own way, and there's so many ways you can take that and put that into very realistic, very like unique your way of telling the story, like adapting it into whatever form of writing that you're doing. And I mean, why let the doubts in yourself stop you in that sense?
Mm-hmm. Let me grab up a fresh meme.
Okay.
I think this is the one that I just have my eyes on. No, but we will go with this one.
Okay.
Wanting to be a writer and not wanting to be rejected is like wanting to be a boxer and not wanting to get punched.
I mean, and you're going to get that rejection in some form or another. And it will surprise you where it'll come from. Because, like, if you're trying to avoid, like, the regular publishing setup because you don't want to deal with all the rejection there, you're going to find rejection in, like, if you're writing fan fiction and you're publishing that online, people are going to leave mean and like rude comments on there. That's going to be a form of rejection. But like it also doesn't necessarily have to be so negative at times. You can have rejection in the form of like writing groups you're a part of trying to like tell you shouldn't do this or that in the story, which I say listen to it, but like do what you need to do. But often enough, like if they're friends, they're caring about you, they want to like warn you and help you figure out what you need to do there. What like might work out better so you're not offending people accidentally.
Yeah. Brushing up close to that has happened to me before, which I'm grateful, especially to Camille for kind of walking me through one particular scene with a song in painted glass. When Christian and Vivian meet for the first time, a knight who gets imprisoned in the castle, and the mistress of the castle, who is an absolute literal monster.
Yeah, I like Art's point here. I'm like, it. What's the point of putting it out there if, like, you're not gonna let people read it? Or I'm trying to get it put together with your two notes.
Yeah.
But like, I kind of get the point. Is like, if you're gonna put it out there, you're gonna have to deal with the negative comments. You're gonna have to deal with the hate in some form or another, and like the professionally published stuff, the stuff that gets put out like on the shelves, it gets plenty of hate too. Mm-hmm. And like you're gonna have people who love it and you're gonna have people who hate it. There's nothing you can do about that. I mean, there's some I wish, like I personally don't like, I don't have a high opinion of, but that's because I'm trying to figure out how they got published, like full on published like that in the first place. I'm thinking at the E.L. James, what is it called? Gray.
50 Shades of Grey?
50 Shades of Grey, yes, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand that one either. Also, if you wanted to publish it, go on ahead, but please fix all the mistakes in it. You're publishing this traditionally. Come on.
Right. At least get some good editing.
Yeah. Not that I can't say for certain, because I normally don't go perusing around in the romance section of Barnes and Noble, but like I'm pretty certain that if I go and pick up any random book off of the romance section from Barnes and Noble, and there's going to be some kinky stuff in there that at least has correct spelling and good grammar.
Well, true. Yes, exactly. Oh man, just my time working there at the bookstore, like there were some wild experiences back in the romance corner.
Oh, do tell.
I was always very perplexed because, like, you would have some people who would just like camp out in the store for a good while, but honestly, it was that romance corner. It was the most common, and it was sometimes the most surprising people you would find back there. Because I'd like go back and shelve a book, and there'd be this lady that's a part of this cult that lives near where I live, that would be in there at least once a week with a huge pile of romance novels that she's like just actively reading through.
Probably because she can't take it home.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And so
if it's who I'm thinking of, yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was very interesting, and she would be in every single week.
Dang.
Oh, that's so sad. And not said that she's looking at, just sad of the situation that demands that a person in secret goes to Barnes and Noble and finds out in the romance section.
Honestly, good for her.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! I'm so sorry. I have to hop now that it's 9.
Okay. Right as my grandfather clock is tolling the bell. Dang
it! As the bell tolls. All right. Well, continue on, and I'm bummed that I'm probably not gonna see Nate on. So.
Aw.
Rip.
Yeah.
Have a fabulous night, everyone.
Thanks for being here with us, Camille.
See you, Camille.
Mm-hmm.
It's been good talking with you. Bye.
Good night. And then there was 2. Yeah, Omega's here. Woo!
Woo! Party.
It's a party.
Shall we move on to our next one?
Yeah, but wait a second, because there was. Yeah, I mean, now that they've halted the train just ever so slightly for it. Yeah. So as a kid, I was ridiculously naive. I will admit that I was a very naive child. I mean, most children should be naive, but looking back at it, I'm like, oh, I was more naive than most. The most. My first introduction to what a romance novel was watching Naked Gun.
Okay.
Which is definitely not the best introduction into romance novels, but oh my gosh, that one still just like that lives rent free in my head. Like, why his love muffin?
Oh no!
It's like, oh no.
I think, honestly, my first real introduction was at Barnes & Noble, and it was from another coworker who was trying to get everybody there at the store to read this book called Rough and Ready. And it was horrendous. I regret all of that.
Oh my gosh. Unless I got that book out of the Western section, Rough and Ready, be like, nope.
Well, like, the character sounded insane. Like, apparently there's a time-traveling Viking cop. And I'm like, what? Why? And, like, she's like, and it doesn't really matter the story. Like, they just focus on the carnal nature of everything around him more than anything, and I'm like, good to know.
So for a video that I'm hoping to release either sometime this weekend, hopefully tomorrow, maybe on Sunday, I was like, you know what? YouTube would definitely censor out one of the words that would be the appropriate word to put into this particular context. So I just wrote that. So I wrote down and recorded me saying flying bodices.
Oh no!
And it's like yeah, if you understand what a bodice is, if you've watched the first Pirates of the Caribbean, then you should be able to make sense of flying bodices.
Oh no! Can we switch memes now?
Yes. All right. Let's see here. I do not believe that we used this one from last week.
Okay.
So, the writing process.
Uh-oh.
Reading for inspiration. Typing the and deleting it. Actual writing. Binge snacking. And surfing the internet.
Okay, the surfing the internet, definitely true for me, but the typing the and deleting it, like opening a brand new page, putting the or whatever first letter, like, or word on the page, and then just staring at it for like 5 minutes trying to figure out what to put on, like, how to keep it moving. Yeah, that's me. It's painful. Like, when I saw that one, I'm like, oh, my heart, I'm in pain.
Yeah. Yep. And the whole surfing the internet, absolutely. Because unless you're someone who's writing with paper and pen or paper and pencil, the internet's right there ready for you to use. And even if you're like, oh, I just need to look up this one thing to help me out, you've already strayed too far from the beaten path, and now you are sucked into whatever it is.
I mean, there is something really to be said about getting away from the internet to do your writing. Like, I remember taking a notebook out with me when I was doing, when I had my park ranger internship and was doing, like, the safety patrol hikes. And I would find a place to rest and hang out that I could keep an eye on the trail, and I would just, like, start writing for a good while. Because, like, had to be out on that trail all day anyway, like, other than, like, keeping track of people and making sure everybody was safe. I didn't really have all that much to do other than, like, walk around or just hang out. So I had a notebook. I wrote for a while. I need to find that notebook again because I remember having some fun stuff in there. Had a Log Horizon fanfic I was writing the one time I remember specifically.
Oh man, we need more Log Horizon.
Agreed.
The true isekai into a video game.
Right. Nate is waiting for a link. He says.
I emailed Nate a link. But let's see here. There's something I was going to say. Oh yeah, binge snacking. This is another one that can very easily happen. If you care for your waistline or for your health, then this is absolutely something to kind of keep an eye on. have some apple slices or something like that, or some apple slices, cheese slices. This is something that I've done every now and then, and it actually is really good. You pop a bag of popcorn, you slice yourself some cheese, you peel yourself and cut yourself up an apple. And that way, then, sure, you've got, snack food, but you're not gorging yourself on tons of candy bars and energy drinks, which are just going to get you super hyper and unable to focus on actually writing.
I reject reality and substitute my own because energy drinks and gummy worms are how I get a lot of my writing done when I'm actually in the mood for it.
All right. Okay, Nate. I'll work on resending you the link here in just a moment. So for Scott, it absolutely works to have an energy drink. It does not work for me. I crash hard.
Huh. Then again, I realize energy drinks are too much of a crutch for me. I mean, for me in just daily life, and it's something I need to work on. Not having to have one every single day. Like, I struggle on that one some days. In fact, I'm kind of developing a headache because haven't had an energy drink for like 3 days, which is sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Monster, the Red Bull. There's a local company called Bucked Up that I've really been enjoying too. I haven't really had much kombucha.
It's been a while since I last heard kombucha.
Actually, no. When I was in Japan, I did have some kombucha, which was actually really good. But I haven't had any over here I really enjoyed.
Kombucha at work tastes like vinegar.
I remember having some like in Japan that was like literally it was kombucha, like it was like they used seaweed to make it, and it was like fresh and it was fantastic. For some reason, like the savory like nature of it was so good. Like savory, a little salty, like it, like my mouth waters just thinking of it, and that was like 10 years ago.
Man, you know, some of the drinks in Japan, those were very pleasant. Also, the grapes, divine.
Yeah, fruit in Japan's no joke.
Oh, so good. It's expensive, but it's nice. That's actually what I splurged on when we were over there. I think I splurged most on the fruit.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. All right, let me pull up another writing meme.
I'm gonna get Nate.
Oh wait, no, we already got this one from last week.
I think so.
Yeah. Whoop. Say we're at the fun in being all like, wait a second, of all these ones right here, which one have we not yet chosen? Here we go. And we'll add Nate.
Woo!
So makes woohoo.
He disappeared.
Nate, you vanished.
We lost him.
What happened? Well, in any case, while we're waiting for Nate to come back on, no souvenirs, just fruit for our Lars. I did get some souvenirs, but oh man, the fruit was delish.
Lars also got attacked by a deer. It was
I
quite
did.
fun to watch.
You know what? You know what? I should see if I can pull up that video.
Oh no! Yeah, if you could show that video on here, that would be great.
Yeah. I'm going to see if I can find a video. Nate's here with us. Hopefully,
I'm here. Sorry, I was cleaning up all my empty, unused tabs, and I accidentally closed the wrong tab while I was waiting. And then I heard, "Oh, let's pull him on." And then
and it's like, no, we know.
No, wrong.
All right, so this meme, your story's meant to have a plot. Me, can't I just bet that all the characters will have a fun time?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too perfect. Like it's one of those things where like I want to baby these characters. I want to make sure they have a fun time, and it's part of the reason I love like cozy fantasy stories so much, because the characters, other than a few specific cases, because you always got to have that random Karen thrown in there, like they tend to have a pretty good time, and it's very relaxing to read.
Mm-hmm.
I love me a good cozy fantasy. The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst, fantastic book.
Yeah, I cannot tell you how many times I've had this argument actually with my mom, where my mom was like, why do you do such things to your characters? I'm like, because my characters need to grow. They got to go through this experience. She's like, He's like, but can't they have that without doing this? And I'm like, not really. No, that's why they're going on this particular adventure.
I mean, you got to have some kind of drama. You got to have something happen to the characters. Otherwise, it's not an actual story in any way. But, like, the level at which that drama and, like, the action that happens in the story occurs, like, can really set the tone of the story in that sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, if you're just aiming for all of the characters to have a fun time, the only way to actually create actual drama is to have different characters have different definitions of what a fun time is, and it conflicts with others. And so, like, they may all be having a fun time, but they may all also be having a crappy time at the same time.
Yeah, you're going to suffer, but you're going to be happy about it.
Yes.
Let's see here. I have found the deer pictures.
Oh no.
Do I have... Let's see here. Deer pictures, but where's the deer? There's the deer video. Oh, deer video. Where art thou? That is actually an excellent question. Huh. So there's the video.
This is absolutely top-notch entertainment right here. Just Lars scrolling through his off-screen photo feed.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, you guys can't actually see it.
I love Art's point here. They need to go through the bad times to get to the good times. If Luke Skywalker just defeated Emperor Palpatine in one blow of his lightsaber instead of struggling against his Sith lightning, it wouldn't be very exciting. And yeah, there's a lot of that. Like, you have to raise the tension, you have to raise the stakes. It can't just be a gimme, because, like, that's when you're approaching Mary Sue level of character. And yeah, Mary Sue characters just aren't that entertaining.
No, they aren't.
And unfortunately, there's too many people at the moment writing all sorts of stuff that's like, oh, I want this, like, super OP character. And if you're gonna have a super OP character, you have to have the story be about something other than, like, how overpowered they are. Because, like, they can go into a battle and kick butt, but how do they deal with, like, the actual relationships in their life? Like, I'm looking at, like, One Punch Man, where, like, he's so powerful, he defeats everything so quickly, but that's not what the story's about.
Yeah.
It's about his, like, reactions and, like, his depression and, like, all of the other characters interacting with each other. Like, that's more important than, like, him just punching out something at the end of the arc.
Say, I can't find the video of me getting gored by the deer. Was it? Might have been taken by someone else.
I think I took that. So let me see if I can find it.
Yeah.
Move on to the next meme in the meantime.
Yeah. We'll move on to the next meme. It'll actually to hold people over for it's like, yes, we actually we did go. We are talking about this. I do have a picture here of deer. Here's our little Nara deer. They are not big, but they can hit.
Oh, man.
All right.
They are pushy, too. Like, you get the little crackers, and they want those crackers.
Yeah, just how I got gored. Yeah. All right, here we go. When you realize that your protagonist is really just you and you don't like what you see.
We were talking a little bit about this one earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, like, you find yourself putting yourself in these characters you're writing, and then you find yourself frustrated with them, and you're just like, wait, is that something I'm frustrated about with the character? Or is it something I'm frustrating about myself as I'm writing? And like it's a good point to like introspect about, but it's also a good thing to like, yeah, if I'm working through this, the character needs to too, or like vice versa. Let's make this useful. It's therapy on the page.
Yeah. Let's see here. I think let's see here. One of the characters that I knew that I was absolutely drawing on me for some of those interactions, for that experience, is Zemon in Bleed Steam and Steel. So the guy who's in a wheelchair, and
Mm.
and I say a little bit of Lars lore. Like, I know I brought this up before, that my feet are reconstructed, and I probably don't emphasize it enough when I talk about that. But like, I was in a wheelchair for almost a full year of my life over the course of about 2 years' time of doing these surgeries and rehabilitation. I was in a wheelchair an absolute lot, and for a while, I felt very debilitated. I felt very constrained in that wheelchair. And it was thanks to a couple of teachers who were a little bit more jokey and not so upset that this kid with this ridiculous large wheelchair has to be in my class. There were so many teachers who hated the fact that they had to cater to a kid in a wheelchair. It was yeah, middle school was some dark times. But then there were some teachers, and there were also the high and I this made me love football players, because it was the football players at school who were like very encouraging. And they didn't know me, but they're just like, guy in a wheelchair, can we push you around? I'm like, yeah, sure thing. So they do that and be like, you're awesome, man. We love you. And so like I just get like fist bumps and high fives from the guys there, and like they would help to like make way for me and everything. In any case, so for Zemon, I drew on that experience of being someone who's in a wheelchair and having a whole load of people who just look at you like you're a hindrance, like you're a weight on society and a weight to them, and they feel much better when you're not around. But then there are those people who don't care about that. There are those people who like you for who you are, or who don't see you as someone who's limited, even if you're in a wheelchair. And so for Zemon is someone who, as opposed to middle school me, who was very self-conscious about this, Zemon instead ended up being like, what if I could be the really like confident guy in the wheelchair? And so I used that. I used that desire while building him. So it wasn't necessarily that Zemon was a reflection of me, but it was the guy that I wish I could see when I had looked in the reflection. I'm Omega. No, I'm not a wheelchair user now. I can walk I can walk absolutely fine now. But for about a year, all tell told, I was in a wheelchair. And when I tell people I had to relearn how to walk, I had to relearn how to walk, because it wasn't just simply like, okay, you've been laid up on a chair or on bed or in the bed for so long, but it was that my muscles and tendons in my feet are shorter than yours are naturally. There are things that you can do with your feet that I can't, or that I'm very limited with. And so that means that my range of motion, learning how to be very deliberate when I walk, is something that I had to reprogram into my mind. So yeah.
Wow.
I wish I was a Professor X type.
I mean, I just gotta say, just because I'm bald by choice, it's very freeing.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely recommend it to anybody who wants to go down that road. It is very freeing. You do not have to deal with having to take care of your hair. Like, you want to make sure your head's clean and moisturized, but like, other than that, you're not having to like brush it out. You don't have to use anything special for it. Like, yeah, you save money on shampoo. It's perfect.
I was this close to completely shaving my head for Halloween because my hair kept poking out of the wig I was wearing. I ended up just shaving the sides, but or like trimming the sides, but I was pretty close to going completely bald. It was too big of a jump for me. I couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to do it.
I mean, yeah, I can get that, the fear of like letting it go, the fear of like trying something new like that, but like honestly, and for me it was like I was thinning so bad up top anyways, and so I'm like, might as well give it a try, because like I don't know like if it'll be a good option or not, and I went with it, and like the immediate relief, yeah, the immediate relief was just like very tangible. It was like very freeing and very like cathartic to just let it go.
Mm-hmm. Nate, did you happen to find the video?
No, but I think I don't have it on my photos, but I think I found the section of the chat that it would be in, and I'm looking.
All right.
It was
the adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
it takes so long for this chat to load.
Yeah. All right.
But I'm gonna keep working on it.
Let's see here. Choosing another meme. I don't think I've used this one yet. Just keep writing. Just keep writing. Hey, okay. So here's something that I'm going to say as far as this meme goes, because there is good advice here, especially if you want to be someone who's more prolific. So, this comes back to what we were talking about earlier with Camille, like how authors should not judge other authors based on how much they work or what their work ethic is or how they write. And you do not need to judge yourself based off of what someone else is capable of and what you're capable of. Writing is truly your own personal marathon. But if you want to become someone who feels far more confident in cranking out a large novel or trying to crank out a story within a certain amount of time, like I'm right now trying to write a novella within a month, the thing that you have to do is you have to sit down and write. Even if you intend on just obliterating what you've had, tossing it out the window, whatever, you need to write, because once you're in a mentality of I'm writing, and I'm enjoying, and let me phrase it this way. Once you get into a mentality of I'm going to write, I am writing, and then you find especially what you enjoy writing, you then are you're not on easy street, but you're on happy street, because you're like, yes, I love it. I'm doing something that I love to do. My story is coming about. The characters are all coming together, and I feel like I'm being productive. And rather than it being something that you feel like once in a week, once every other week, once in a month, it then becomes something that you feel repeatedly throughout the week, because you're like, even if I only write a few sentences, I will write. This story does not go a single day without progressing in some direction. And so this mentality of just keep writing, that's what you got to do if you want to get into a headspace where you can be prolific, where you can tackle a larger project. Hey, there we are.
Did find it.
Nate found it. Okay.
Don't say never done nothing for you.
Oh, I am getting this thing. But yeah, so I've said, what would you guys have to say about just keep writing?
I mean, yeah, sometimes you just have to force yourself to do it. Like, sit down and make yourself do it. I try to do it every now and then where it's like, okay, I haven't written in a while. I really want to do something. Let's take 2-3 days off in a row and just try to put words on the page and just keep writing. And like the last time I did it, it was like, almost 6,000 words I got down, which for me, that's a lot. That is a lot.
That's excellent.
And it was a blast. I kind of burned myself out a little bit. I didn't feel like writing for a little while after that. But just the fact that I was able to sit down and do a lot of that writing, it made a big difference.
All I would say is, like you were saying earlier, about, it's your own personal marathon. And when I was first hopping on, you guys were talking about like exercising. And I think that a good analogy for like writing could be like weightlifting. If you're starting out weightlifting and you're like, all right, I'm going to bench press 300 pounds. Here we go. And you're just a scrawny little boy or girl, like you're not going to be able to bench press like what some very muscular people are going to be bench pressing. And then you're going to fall short because you can't hit those goals that you haven't worked up to, right? And so it's like, it's important that you, with writing and with many things in life, it's not about comparing yourself to others. It's comparing yourself to where you were and your trajectory you're going on, right? So just, even if it's just putting a few words down, like that's a few more words down than you had yesterday,
Exactly.
And that's worth celebrating. But also don't be hard on yourself because you can't match the sheer number output that somebody like Sanderson or Lars can do. Just be happy with what you can do and don't feel discouraged because you can't meet your lofty goals. And also be kind to yourself if you can't write one day or can't write a whole week or can't write a whole month or can't write a whole year and a half. Just write because you enjoy doing it and write when you can.
Yeah. So for instance, I had intended to, again, Lars numbers right here, but I intended to have written over the past 48 hours, 6,000 words. I have not reached that goal at all. The reason being for that is because family emergencies suddenly rolled along. And what are you going to do? Tell your family, like, no, how dare you have an emergency right now? I got to write. Like priorities. You prioritize what's most important. And while I love writing, it's not always the most important thing. And family for me takes precedent. And so now for a large portion of today, I was taking care of my niece. And rather than grumbling about it, took her to the playground and had a great time, and then got her to sleep. So it's like, you make the most of every situation. As an author, your life is not just writing and selling your books. That is just an aspect of your life. But when you want to make it a productive aspect of your life, you need to apply yourself to it.
Yeah, it's just like, your job. It's not like, that's not the only thing happening in your life. It's in some instances not even the priority in your life. The priority in your life is the people around you that you associate with, right? Now, writing can be a great source of creative outer expression. That's there you go. And so, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I got distracted because this stupid gunk monster's freaking getting me. Sorry, I'm playing Hyrule Warriors.
All right. So, shall we? We'll take that then as an opportunity to present the video. Let's see here. Okay, this should be it. There we are. There's me. That big boy with the antlers. There he goes.
Ouch. Yeah, I remember it tearing through your shirt, leaving a big old bruise on your back of your chest.
Yeah, you know, and that deer just there bit me in the butt.
Lars, I'm not holding this.
Funny fact, I
got
am
the whole
wearing
thing on
that.
video.
I am
We
wearing
both
that.
got rammed in by the
Yeah.
big one with horns here.
Oh my gosh, that was one aggressive boy.
Don't give him the whole. No.
Funny fact, this was not planned. I am wearing the exact same shirt right now.
Nice.
You are the universal constant, Lars. See, my assumption was just that Lars is a cartoon character who has an entire closet full of the exact same shirt.
Yeah, like Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Oh man, like what's the brand of like Fox shirts you have? Like I've seen you wear those so often.
Oh, the tea turtle shirts.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh man, what I should have done. What I should have done for that particular for this is that I should have already have unwrapped all of the crackers and have just been like chucking them, like, here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go, and getting them away from me.
Well, you live and you learn, I guess.
Yep. The big boy reminds me of our pit bull. Your pit bull has massive horns.
Lars, I'm not holding this.
They're like pigeons. I had following me at the beach when I had some fried dough. They're vicious.
I got that whole thing on video. We both got rammed in by the big one with horns here.
Man, that deer.
Don't
It's
give
so
him
hard
the whole.
to tell.
No.
It's so hard to tell what's like the audio coming from the video and the audio coming from you guys.
Yeah.
Oh man, I listening to my own voice like through recording. I struggle with it so hard sometimes because I end up coming through a lot like higher pitched and squeaker than I think I actually sound.
I got pretty used to it back when I would edit all of our podcast episodes. And so hearing my own voice in video it just sounds like some sort of weird extension of me, and I'm used to it enough that it doesn't bother me anymore.
Mm-hmm. Same here with doing all of the videos. It's like I just gotten used to it. Yeah, because like my voice sounds different in my own ears, and then when I hear, I'm like, oh, that's my voice.
Is that my voice?
That my voice? Oh well. Actually, I have a bit. So Arts, I also have a pigeon story. It thankfully didn't happen to me, but I got to see it. So it was while I was a missionary in Germany. One early morning, I was out with the other missionaries, and it was super early. So we had gotten ourselves breakfast, and we're like trying to wake up. It's cold, and we're like, nah. and one guy, Coulter, he had gotten himself a muffin, and he's like, I'm not going to be like you guys with your cold yogurts. I got myself a freshly baked muffin, and we're like, well, good for you. He took a bite of that muffin, and some crumbs spilled onto the ground. Immediately, pigeons appeared from every direction and just flocked around his feet. And so he found himself tripping over pigeons, trying to get away from them. More crumbs spilled to the ground. The pigeon suddenly realized he has more food. And so the rest of us stood back, eating our morning frozen yogurts, watching Coulter get chased around the city square. Like, he went halfway around the city square. It was roughly about like half the size of an American football field, so it's pretty big. And he's running around it, getting chased by pigeons. And finally, he was like, we heard him scream, "Have it!" And he threw the rest of his muffin, and hundreds of pigeons just descended on it. And like the scarabs from the Mummy ate it. It was gone in seconds. It was slightly horrifying. So it's like at the end of Home Alone 2 when the wet bandits get covered in birds. Yes. Yes. Except it's more horrifying when it happens in real life because you're like, oh, this isn't a movie. This is very real.
Oh man, we found out when I was over in Japan that like if you get something black and you throw it in the air, they think it's a bird of prey, and the pigeons will just scatter. And it was way too much fun just kind of sneaking into like a big group of pigeons as like in the middle of as you can, and then throwing something up. They would just fly off in any direction to get away as fast as they could. Yes, exactly like the seagulls. The deer are like that. They are aggressive.
Yes. I ended up doing that with my friend. The pigeon flew up at me, and I threw the fried dough to the side. Such a waste of good fried dough. But yeah, when the pigeons come, about a dozen pigeons after them. Oh, that's awesome. All right, we're ready for another meme?
Yes.
Oh, wait. Oh, we've already used that one. That was from last week.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
You were picking them at random last week.
I was picking them at random. I had meant... Oh, and that one too. We actually did quite a few, I guess. Okay. A writer. Someone who actively avoids writing. Oh, wait. We also did this one last week.
We're just doing the greatest hits.
We're just doing the greatest hits all over again.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. My mind during creative writing, when I'm actually thinking what I write. Oh, so this one is true. This one is true.
This is when you just embrace it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this, I mean, I have not told the outside world of one of my secret projects, but like one of my secret projects was me just leaning into it and like, okay, yep, we're writing this. we're gonna take those bad impulse thoughts and we're gonna turn it into a story. I have now turned it into a story. It is real. Will it ever get published? I am still debating. But actually, another application for this. So while I've been writing for the sequel, while I've been writing Tumble Teller's sequel, because there were so many, because I've come across so many younger readers who thought it would be interesting to read it. I'm like, sweet. And then while rereading Tumble Teller, I'm like, oh yeah, my character's curse in this book. And so now, while I've been writing it, I'm just like, because I now know that younger readers read this book. How explicit do I make these characters in world? So one of the things I've been thinking about, especially going into the second book, is how can I kind of be a little bit more like the Stormlight Archive or Mistborn, and you just come up with very creative ways of saying naughty things within the context of that world. So where you're like, if people don't get it, they don't get it, and if they do, you've been paying attention.
I mean, and there's something to be said for that, because like, there's times when you realize, oh, what I'm writing is enjoyed more by this kind of demographic. And so like when you go back to edit it, you're like, okay, how do I twist this just enough to make it more acceptable for like that age group? Case in point, it makes me think of an interview I've heard about. I watched a while back for the show The Dukes of Hazzard, where like the first season of that show was a lot more gritty and rough than the rest of the show, because they took a look at who was actually watching the show, and decided to change it. So like after a certain point, you're not seeing as many guns, you're not seeing as much like outright violence in the show because they're like toning that part of it down for the younger audience. I mean,
I've heard that's pretty common with a lot of writers where they'll write a story totally expecting it to be for a certain demographic, and then when they submit it to the publishers and they'll be like, oh no, this is totally a YA or a full adult. It's like, really? I didn't think it was. But just the context and the interest really is what it comes down to. And so it's I feel like, and obviously limited I've limited experience in this sort of field, limited being none as far as like publishing an actual book goes. But like, I feel like you should just write the story you want to write.
Yeah.
And if a publisher picks it up, they will tell you what demographic it's for and help you cater it to that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like Lars, with your point, it's like, I don't see any issue with some mild language for like a children's book. Like, obviously, like, the F word or other sort of
the strength of the 4-letter words.
The strength of the 4-letter words. Like, I mean, you could always tone them down or come up with alternatives, but I don't think you need to remove them altogether. I think that crass language is a part of life, and definitely, like, I think overusing it makes it feel. Well, we don't need to get into that because we actually talked about this in the private chat.
Yeah, we actually did have a conversation about this in the private chat, which I think that a very brief segue on that particular topic is that coarse language is like, for some people that's an absolute no-go. That comes back actually to one of our earlier memes of like you can't please everyone, and not every book is written for every person. If you're out trying to write a book that will be appealing to everyone, you're going to fail. Write a good story, and you'll find that loads of people are going to come and love it. Some people you weren't even expecting. So then that means that within the context of your story, what's the kind of language that will work best for that story? There's for instance, in the Beyonders trilogy, there's actually some very strong language that comes from the characters, but it's all like fantasy swears, and so like it doesn't like pop you out of the story that's geared towards kids, because because for kids it's going over their heads. If you're an adult reading the book, you get what Brandon Mull just wrote, but it fits for the context of a different magical world that is not Earth. And so it works. If you're going to write a story with adults placed in like modern day Earth, then foul language is just going to happen. And then it's just a matter of how is it employed? So there's a balancing act there. And it's figuring out what story you're telling and then using it as appropriate for that story. I'm not going to be a pearl clutching nun and tell you, no, not in my good Christian household.
Yeah, and well, just to like kind of what I was saying in the private chat, I can kind of reiterate a bit here, just so that it's the advice is out there in the public. But basically, we're talking about a show that kind of uses a lot of language to kind of show, oh, look at how adults we are. Look at, we're not safe for kids because look at how many times we can say the F word in one paragraph, and that kind of mentality is very juvenile, right? Like, it's classified as adult, but it's very juvenile. It's very immature, right? Because and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, if you're wanting to write a character who's very uneducated or very immature, or even for some comedic relief, you can use swear words, and that's fine, And so we're not trying to say like swear words are bad, but like the overuse of swear words comes off as, I'm not creative enough to tell a good joke, so I'm just going to throw some curse words in and hope that it's funny, and that's not satisfying. Now a good timed curse word can really make a joke land. But oftentimes I see a lot of, especially adult cartoons, kind of fall into this trap where, oh, I said a curse word, therefore it must be funny.
Yeah.
And that's just not how it works.
Which is why I think that Gravity Falls flourished as well as it did, because it was made under the Disney banner. Disney didn't do it any favors, but because it was Disney restricting what Alex Hirsch could do, he and his team had to get creative. And one of the best moments for Grunkle Stan, and it was a great use of like pushing it right up to the limit, was in the episode Not What He Seems, when they're all like, when they've been told that Grunkle Stan's been doing all this extra illegal stuff that now has the FBI after him and Grunkle Stan's been doing all this illegal stuff. He's a very crass character all throughout the series, but then when Dipper and Mabel find out that he has been stealing a bunch of nuclear waste, and Mabel's like, maybe it's not him, maybe it's someone else who just happens to have keys to the front door. And then they hear over the recording the guy drop a barrel on his foot, and he's like, "Oh, hot Belgian waffles! Oh wait, I'm alone. I can swear for real, son of a!" And then, yep, that's Grunkle Stan. As they then fast forward, is great. This is a great use.
Well, and I also think in the private chat, Camille brought up a really great point about Bob's Burgers. Like, Bob's Burgers touches on some very adult-centric, like, themes, right? It's like, you're not going to have a little kid show that says, I just want to be a pill-popping sex freak, But there's very, like, in comparison to other adult animation, there's very little cursing, which makes Bob's Burgers just feel like the mature version of adult cartoons. Because it is. It's a very, like, not mature in the traditional sense, like non-juvenile. It covers adult topics, it has adult situations, but it doesn't resort to having cursing to make it feel adult. It feels adult because it's talking about adult stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a trap that a lot of writers get sucked into, where it's like, oh, this is adult, therefore we have to overuse and abuse cursing. And it just falls flat. It's very uncreative, is how I've always seen it.
Yeah. And to Arts' point, how the Goonies can get away with it to an extent. Within the Goonies, one of the reasons why the Goonies makes it work is that you find out really early on in the movie that the foul language that the boys are using is their way of being rebellious. But like the moment that Mom comes home, because at one point, like, Brad uses a bad word and she's all like, and she slaps him. And it's like, no, none of that. And so it's like, and so like the movie within its context, like, yep, the boys are saying what they're saying because they are going through their edgy, rebellious preteen phase. But like the moment that like an adult figure is there, that they're at least one that they respect, it's like, whoop, no, I will use good, kind words, sir and ma'am, which feels realistic. If you spend enough time around young kids or especially teenagers, yes, that's how they speak. All right. Do we want another meme?
Sure.
Feed us the memes.
Yes, please, Doctor.
We like it when the characters are happy. Well, we don't do that here. I like my characters being happy. I make them suffer in order to appreciate their happiness.
There you go. It's the duology of it.
Mm-hmm. So I actually, to elaborate further, in my series of Legend of the Ten Lords, one of my main characters, Jessica, she's got, at the beginning of the story, she's got the good high school life going. She's she's got a family who gives her space. She's got her room that's her own little girl cave, where she can actually geek out because she's a closet nerd. But then when she's amongst her friends, she's the perfect prim jock girl. She's got a good group of friends. Her friends are supportive. They like her. There's no backbiting or backstabbing amongst it, because I'm like, no, we are going to write girlfriends as girls who actually like and support each other. Because I hate how many authors are like, no, girls can't ever be friends.
I know, that drives me bonkers.
It's
like, have you ever talked to a real girl?
Yeah. And then they're like, I have. Real girls are mean. And I'm like, what real girls have you been hanging out with?
It's because they're hanging out with the wrong group of girls.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So in any case, Jessica, she's got a good life going. Is she the best student in school? No, she isn't, but she's a good student. And she's got her cheerleading gig. She's about to start dating the hunky quarterback on the football team. Like, it's all good stuff. And then I rip that all away from her when she gets abducted mentally into Hallie Cruz, and her body basically becomes kind of like a wandering zombie that can then be puppeted by other people. And it's just like, oh, this is uncomfortable. Oh, this is awful. And she gets to go through 3 books of just having it rough. And the reason why I went that route is because I really wanted to demonstrate what I really wanted to demonstrate in part was a universe or a world where your imagination can be anything that you want it to be, and you can make it into reality. Sounds awesome. I would love that. The problem is that when other people can do it as well, all it takes is for one freak like Gary to impose a very demented idea of the world or of other people onto them and make that a reality. And suddenly your life becomes a living hell because someone else's imagination is demented. And so even though I would love to have this kind of power, I also appreciate and show throughout my books that as awesome as that sounds, it would also be terrible, because all you need is just one person to screw it up. And poor Jessica just happens to be one of the main targets of this. And so what then are the repercussions? And I don't pull my punches. And one of the reasons why I don't pull my punches is because I want Jessica, when she finally comes out on top, to have earned that. I want her to have the victory. Not because I, as the author, just handed it to her, or because some other character came in and rescued her. Yes, one of my other main characters, Ben, his whole thing for the first 3 books is to save her, which is a huge part of the series, but it is also about her choices, her personal journey. How do you come back from something as awful and traumatizing as what Jessica goes through? And so it's not that I don't want my character to be unhappy, but rather I want her to be able to have earned that happiness after that happiness gets ripped away from her, which is part of the plot. So there you go. There's my quick pedantic rant.
The greater the suspense, the higher the euphoria. The greater the trauma, the higher the euphoria. I don't know. Something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Scott, any thoughts on this?
No, I think you guys did pretty well there. I'm kind of losing focus, and I need to get off here
all right
pretty soon. I've got an early morning tomorrow.
Yeah, you got an early morning. How about for you then? We got one more. One more writing meme.
One juicy meme just for the scoot.
Oh,
God dang it! We already had this one.
I don't remember that one.
That was from last week. I can pull it up again if I can find it again. So I'm just kind of grabbing stuff up at random here. Oh yeah, we already did this one too.
We did do that one.
I guess
There's
we went through
63 different memes in there. Like, I'm sure we did go through all of them.
No, but we actually went through like a fair number of memes. We covered like over 20 memes, I think. And
Sure.
I was foolish and didn't immediately
Oh, yeah.
sort through which ones were which. Nope. Already did that one too. Man.
Maybe Scott's not going to get a juicy meme.
Maybe he's not going to get a juicy
He'll get a
meme.
sloppy second meme.
Oh, no. Oh, dear.
Okay.
That's us right here. Like, the three of us just sitting here. Lars is, I wrote a whole chapter. Chapter only wrote one paragraph. Paragraph only wrote a sentence. You guys are writing?
I'm definitely the guy at the end right now.
I mean, I've been doing some, but like, yeah, most I've done in a day recently is like half a page.
Yeah. I was able to get quite a bit of writing done when my son was like in the first like month, because I wasn't working, and so the only other thing I had was just taking care of him. But now that I've been working again, I'm like, time for writing? Yeah, I'll do that after he goes to bed. Oh, he's in bed? Time to go to sleep.
Yep.
And so every time I like sit down, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna play an hour of games and then I'm gonna write. And then I get 10 minutes into the games, I'm like, just kidding, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, I've been like that. Like, especially the nights I have to get up early the next morning, and I'm like, I would love to sit down and write a little bit, but I'm also really tired, and I know if I don't go to bed soon, I'll regret it. So on that note, I do actually need to go.
All right.
It's been a blast. I hope everybody has a good night.
Hope you have a good night too, Scott, and then you get some good rest.
Buenos noches.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Ciao.
Bikini.
What about you, Nate? How are you feeling?
I'm a little tired, but I can do one more meme if you're up for it.
Yeah, sure. I'll do one more meme, and then I think I'll I'll start switching some gears on over to a few other things I said I would cover tonight. That, I mean, if you want to stick around, feel free. But like, I know that it's not something you've been spending any time with, so I'm not gonna be like, no, stay with me, my good sir.
You must.
You must
not abandon me in my greatest time of need.
You shall not abandon me in this hour. Oh wait, we already had that one last week too.
Who posted this meme? Oh, we did. 3 times.
We did. Yeah, so many times. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I should have done a better job of cleaning this up ahead of time. Yep, even had that one too last week. God. Oh my gosh. Maybe we did hit almost all the memes. Surely we haven't. Let's see.
We should just go down the list from the beginning and just rapid fire.
Okay, I know we haven't done this one.
Someone else. So you're a writer. Can you write something for me? Me? Best I can do is procrastinate. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, man. First of all, I find it really weird when people contact you out of the blue and they're like, hey, can you write something for me? And I'm like, no.
No. I learned when I was doing art school, I learned very quickly that when people would find out, it's like, oh, you're in art school? Will you draw something for me? Be like, are you going to pay for it? No, you're not just going to write. You're not just going to draw something for me. No, because I got other crap to do.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to pay me for it, I'd love to draw something for you, but I'm not going to do it for free unless it's a gift. But it's also not your birthday. So my time is valuable. And I think a lot of people don't realize how time consuming creative endeavors can be. A lot of people just think, oh, well, you enjoy doing it, right? So why don't you just enjoy doing it for my benefit? And that's not how that works.
No. Nope. Yeah, time and effort. And this is and that's why, and we actually talked about this when we had Zaza on and we were doing character art, about how you need to be how you should be respectful. You need to be respectful of the artist, and work with them, and give them the freedom and the time that they need to do something. And to that extent, like, especially if you have a project in mind that you really, really want to do soon, you probably should have already gotten on that sooner. Like I fell victim to that this year by putting off getting cover art for some of my books until way later. And so it came down on me. Like, the fact that I don't have that cover art is not because my artists are bad, but because I just didn't give them the time. And it's unfair for me to be like, no, you will crank this out now. You will do this. But
yeah.
No, no. But one other thing I would say in here, as far as like, can you write something for me? Because I've been asked that multiple times, especially from people who read my fanfics, and my response is, it's far more rewarding for you to write it yourself.
Yeah.
And I know that, like, nowadays people can just be like, well, I'm just going to head on over to AI and crank it out. And it's like, AI can write it for you, but AI might not actually give you what you want. And I mean, we were actually having this discussion last week, how AI kind of calibrates itself to what it thinks you want.
Yeah.
And one of the things actually about the writing experience is that your final draft is actually not always what you wanted, but rather what you realize what the story needs.
Yeah.
And an experienced writer who goes through the whole process does learn to tell the difference.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just think about how much my story has changed for like Black Wings from start to finish, and then to the second draft. Like, and even then, it's probably going to change more if I ever get around to finishing said second draft. But like, even just comparing my rewrites that I did for it, like, had I stuck with the original plan, the story would not be as impactful or like creative as it is now. But I had to go through the process. I had to agonize over it for years, world building, planning, outlining, and then actually writing. And that whole process was necessary for it to become the story it needs to be. And even now, I'm still not anywhere close to being done with it. So yeah.
Yeah. But also, procrastination, that is something that I think we all feel. And as much as we've talked about how, like, oh, Lars can write a whole lot, there are stories that I've definitely procrastinated on. I years ago had hoped that I would have Whitefire ready to go around the same time that I released the last book in the Legend of the Ten Lords series. And I am not even finally pushing myself to write the full first draft until 2027. I've got other things that I want to write right now. I know that Whitefire is going to be a massive commitment. So I've set aside a time to do it down the line, and I'm taking the rest of this year and next year as I can to do all the prep work to get myself ready for that massive project, because it will be the most dense book that I have ever written.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, and that reminds me a little bit of my Ulira book, which is supposed to be a like a sci-fi futuristic story that takes place like many years after the main events, or not main events, because my book series is like a chronology of history throughout this world, and so it stretches excuse me, it stretches from very medieval-esque time all the way up to more modern time, and then even far beyond that. And so just thinking about, I wanted to start writing some of these other stories, but I realized that I am not ready to write this story. Commitment wise, I'm not there yet. Skill wise, not there yet either. But also, like, I need to know the scope of the world and the events that happen in these other stories first, right? It's like, as much as I want to sit down and write this story right now, it's more important that I plan out the events of these other stories first. And so this one will have to go on the back burner for now.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need to do that.
Yeah. Yep. It's why it's wiser to do that and to give yourself the chance to really develop your stories as you need, and to build up your skill, rather than just throw yourself at something and say, I'm good, I'm ready to go. I did that with the Legend of the Ten Lords. I think realistically, the Legend of the Ten Lords would have probably been a project that I would have pushed to publish after doing a couple of other books and really fixing the first book. But here I am. I did it. I sped on through, and I've learned, and I've become smarter since. But yeah, I think it's not, and I brought this up at the beginning of the stream when talking about how it's totally fine to go look up words you don't understand. It's not a sign of weakness. That's a sign of that's a sign of a good writer. When you realize, I am not there yet. That kind of honesty can save you.
Okay, sorry, I keep accidentally muting and unmuting myself. Yeah, I was gonna say that's awesome. Well, and I feel like the nice benefit to self-publishing, you own the book. If you want to rewrite the first book, you can. If you want to re-tackle the whole series again, you can. There's nothing that says you can't.
Yep. Other than that, I've got so many other stories I wish to tell.
That's right, yeah. And sometimes it's just better to get it on the page so you can move on.
Yep. Exactly. I feel like at times I feel like I'm the creator from Wheel of Time. I think like the moment that I came across this one line, I was like, that's me. That's absolutely me. When Rand is all like, the creator, he makes worlds and he just moves on to the next. He doesn't care for what came before. And I'm like, I do care about what came before, but once I'm done with the story, I'm like, okay, let's move on to the next story. I have a very hard time staying put with just one story. Like I find it absolutely incredible that most authors can, because I can't. I have to keep moving on. But yeah. So
Good stuff.
good stuff. Well, Nate, anything else that you want to bring up and say?
No, not really. Just that this is inspiring me to write, but I'll probably fall asleep as soon as I start writing.
Hey,
But
you've got my permission, man. I've conked out in like the past week. There've been a couple of times. So I'm just like, I should write, but I am sleepy, and you are definitely justified in being sleepy way more than me because you've got a kid. So I just babysit my niece every now and then. I don't have her over 24/7.
It's true. Well, and he's it's hard because he's like in the transition phase from like potato phase to I want to see the world, and I'm learning how to use my voice and all these things. And so it's like he doesn't just sit around all the time anymore. It's like he wants to play with his toys, but as soon as he drops his toy far enough to where he can't reach it, which is frequently, he's angry. Like, and so it's like you constantly have to like be like, oh, here's your toy back. Oh, here's your toy back. And it's the best joy in my life, but it's also like, Bessie, just hold on to your toy. Stop throwing it.
Yeah. Yeah, the patience. You are learning a mighty amount of patience, my friend.
He really is the light of my life, though. He's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
I love him.
Are you going to share? Are you going to send out all of his goofy pics for Christmas pics?
Oh, I definitely should.
Yeah, you absolutely should. I think it'd be awesome. That's what the I'm just going to say this. I think that's what the grandparents really want. Like all grandparents, they've been through this. They know what the good happy pictures look like, and they love those. But they're going to laugh and reminisce when they then see the there's the goofy pic.
Yeah. Well, I'm good to hang on for a little bit if you want to do what you were gonna do. I might just vibe for a second and then hop off at any moment. But
okay.
Yeah, I'll stick around as a fly on the wall for a minute.
All right. So I think what I'll let's see here. I think what I'll do next, because it's not like, fortunately, we don't have a massive audience watching us tonight. So if I tried to poll this, I'm not sure exactly what I'd get. If I'd say, "Hey, do what you guys want next? Odor of the Flame or a glitch?" And I think I'll just launch into Odor of the Flame, to get this rant off my chest, and then afterwards kind of be like Patch's wife and be like, I need to wash something. So I'm going to pull up an image right here. I mean, you guys have already, if you've even bothered paying attention to the thumbnail, you've already seen this particular picture right here. So Odor of the Flame is an ongoing manga right now that you can read either on Manga Plus or on Viz. They've got the official translation into English going. And this is kind of the comeback manga for Yuki Kawaguchi. Yuki Kawaguchi is the guy who did the story Hunter's Guild Red Hood, which was, God, it was cut. I do not understand why that story did not get more traction. And when I read what people's critiques of it were, it was stuff like, well, where's his rival? Where's the school where they're all going to where they're all going to learn their special powers with their special moves and their special names, and where's the love interest? And I'm like, hello, this is not that kind of a story. Like Hunter's Guild Red Hood is a revenge story told by basically a gender bent Red Riding Hood, actually 2 different Red Riding Hood-esque characters. You've got Velu, and then you've got Grim. And they work together as a team to start taking on werewolves. Because it's not just the big bad wolf that's eating people, it is a bunch of big werewolves that go around the world devouring villages. So there's your story. And in order to become a hunter, you've got to, you've got to be accepted into the guild. You have to be able to prove yourself. You become apprenticed to a master, and then you're going to go on adventures to then go and kill werewolves and build yourself up to finally facing against the big bad guy, who is introduced. You are introduced to one of the big baddies, who is like the godfather of werewolves, who's in a werewolf that's so ancient, he's eaten so many people, he's literally the size of a mountain. And so, like, you've got some really cool stuff in Hunter's Guild Red Hood, and people are all like, well, where's the magical school? Why aren't there more cool names? Where are their special powers? Where's the love interest? Why is it moving so slow? I'm like, moving slow? This story's moving at a very good pace. It's not breakneck pace, but it is moving at the speed necessary to tell you the story and to inform you about who these characters are. But alas, Hunter's Guild Red Hood was axed. And Yuki Kawaguchi went silent for over a year. He did have a chance to do a one-shot, and basically that one-shot would be like, ooh, will he then get a chance to do a spin-off series? The one-shot was also basically very ill-received, and so it's just like, okay, what happened to him? Suddenly, Odor of the Flame, this story pops onto the scene, and basically it is him being all like, fine, I know you guys didn't like Hunter's Guild Red Hood, but I could really like a lot of the characters. So he basically took the characters from Hunter's Guild Red Hood and then changed them in order to fit into change them so ever so slightly to fit into a different story altogether. Odor is basically Velu, the gender bent Little Red Riding Hood from Hunter's Guild, except he doesn't have a ponytail, and he is way more assertive as an individual, which I think is a good move forward. And it's an epic. It is a sweet epic of effectively like fantasy Norway being taken over by the frost giants. And the humanity is being pushed to the brink of extinction by these frost giants. And Odor joins up with a band of warriors who will then go and fight on the front lines. But he's so small, he's considered too weak. He's not there. Like, even though they're in a fight for survival, they're not going to push him onto the front line. That's just murder, and that's unhelpful. So he's chosen as a cook. And he has to tend to the fires, tend to the fort, and then that fort gets taken over by frost giants. Come to find out that the fire that he's been tending to, which is the fire gifted to him by the village when he left, that village fire, and I really do appreciate the use of European lore in the story, that fire has a spirit in it, which fits into really old European lore, that your hearth was normally the home to a fire spirit who would protect your home, protect your family. So there's a fire spirit in there that can protect Odor. Turns out it's not just any fire spirit, but it is the fire spirit, one of the ancient fire spirits that comes to his aid. And alongside now this fire spirit, he has to go on a quest to end the ice giant incursion. And it is a really interesting adaptation of a lot of Viking mythology. And it is way more fast-paced. Like, people are like, Hunter's Guild is really slow. Odor of the Red Flame is almost too fast, I would argue. But people are like, yeah, things are moving so fast. Oh, I love it. And I'm like, I would like it if it slowed down a little bit. Okay. And then sure enough, then immediately when you're like, okay, it's moving really fast. Now, where is the magical school? So he made a school, quote unquote. Oder almost immediately goes to get educated by another Viking, along with another pupil, and he gets to learn his amazing moves with their ridiculous names, and then potential love interests are introduced. It's kind of sad because you can see that Kawaguchi basically was forced to incorporate all these things that typical shonen stories have, and so he's doing his best to kind of fit them into a story that doesn't really need this stuff. So he's done it all. He put in all the things that people said that you need to put this in there. It's the only way that you can make a good shonen story. And despite him doing what all the critics told him to do, people are still not buying the story. And the only thing I can think of is that over in Japan, and the Japanese only count the sales in Japan towards how well a story is doing. So, for instance, I've actually bought my copies of Odor of the Flame, and I know I won't be counted in because I'm an American buying those books, and they keep track of that. If it's a book that's being sold outside of Japan, it does not count towards the main sales of the story. And so the Japanese, I can only conclude, really don't like epic fantasy. I mean, there are some epic fantasy stories out there, but maybe it's just because it's being advertised and told through Shonen Jump that it's not getting the audience that it really needs. But like, where's the audience for epic fantasy? And like at the very beginning of all of this, scrolling way up to the top, we had Janice Mary Audio. Yeah, like where's the love for epic fantasy? Me, Ichi, the witch. Like there are epic fantasy stories on out there. For whatever reason, just this poor guy cannot. He loves writing epic fantasy, cannot find his audience, or at least not over in Japan. So, lessons to be learned from this. I do not want this manga to be axed. This guy has already been given the shaft so many times while trying to get his career started. He's a great writer. And I actually want to show you guys what I mean by that with the opening chapter that's available to everyone. But, so one of the things you have to realize as a writer is that so much of your success comes down to luck. And that is one of the most vicious things that any author has to deal with. There are authors out there that I would argue that there's likely an author who is a better writer than J.R.R. Tolkien. And I know that is almost blasphemy to say because Tolkien is one of the greatest writers of all time. He is. Like, put aside any prejudice you have again that you might have towards reading one of his books. If you actually sit down and read one of his books, it's amazing. I just recently saw a meme where someone's all like, my wife got all upset and she's like, is Tolkien going to describe the bush? And I'm like, you bet he is. And then we read the next page describing the bush. And I'm like, that's not how Tolkien writes. That's the way it feels. Because when you read Tolkien's work, Tolkien says everything so concise and precisely that after half a page, you feel like you've read 5 pages because you've been given so much amazing information. He was a master wordsmith. So, but even though he's a master wordsmith, there's arguably an author out there who's even better than Tolkien. But that author has not been discovered because luck was not on their side. And I feel it's the same thing with Yuki Kawaguchi. Yuki Kawaguchi, while maybe not the greatest mangaka of all time, I definitely wouldn't describe him like that, even though I really love his stories. Yuki Kawaguchi can spin an excellent yarn. He's a really, really great fantasy writer. Like if I had the chance to actually collaborate with Yuki Kawaguchi, I would be over the moon. because this guy just sounds so like I read his work and I can tell he is passionate. He knows his characters. He knows his world. He puts care into every single panel. The guy's amazing. And yet he's not getting the break. And even when he decides to not tell the story the way that he would want to tell it, but instead bends to the will and pressures of the greater audience and of his editors and of annoying people complaining online that this is how you should tell the story, that doesn't always mean then that you get the love and admiration, respect, and sales that you deserve. There's no cure to this. There's no solution to this. There's no way around this. If the luck isn't there, you're screwed. There's an audience for Odor of the Flame. There absolutely is. And again, I would contend it's a well-written story. And I wish that there was more people who'd actually read it so that way I could have a real discussion with them about what works, what doesn't. And it's not just me pontificating from my online podium. And it's just sad to think that this is yet another story of his that might get prematurely axed and not go anywhere, despite all the work that goes into it. And Shonen runs their manga the same way that Disney runs their shows. Once you've signed on with them to tell a story, you've given up control of that story. The magazine, in this case, owns it. You don't. And that's really, really rough for any creator to go through. It's one of the reasons why I tell people, like, pay attention to the contracts that you sign if you work with a company. Pay really close attention to what you're giving up in order to have the opportunity to tell your story to a wider audience. Most publishing houses will leave the author with full rights over their story. That's the way that they roll, and that makes really good sense. They just want a bigger cut of the pie because they're facilitating the publishing and the overall advertising of your story. But if a publishing house wants your rights to the story, you might want to back away from them, because then they can take control of your story whenever they want, because you've legally signed it away. And the unfortunate thing for Yuki Kawaguchi is that if Odor of the Flame gets axed, he will never be able to return to it unless somehow miraculously they either give him a second chance, or far more likely, though still a massive long shot, he comes up with the next One Piece that everyone just loves so much that then his publishers are all like, so what are you going to work on next? And he'd be like, I want to finish what I began. Give me back my stories. In either case, it's an absolute long shot. And that's what happens when you sign away your rights. So pay attention. Be mindful of the contracts that you sign with other people when you want to get your stories published. I recently talked with a person online who was being taken in by their publisher. And I don't know if they actually ever bothered to really follow up with what I was telling them, or really check in to make sure that they weren't being taken advantage of. But they were saying, oh yeah, no, this publisher is going to get me like 100,000 copies of my first print. And all I have to do is just like pay up $5,000 up front. And I'm like, whoa, hold on up here. You have to pay $5,000 to get 100,000 copies printed? Number one, it costs way more than $5,000 to get 100,000 copies printed, let me tell you. So already right there, that's sending off some alarm bells. Furthermore, they're the publishing house. They've got the money, so they don't need your $5,000. On top of that, 100,000, I say not $100,000, but for $5,000 for your 100,000 copies. 100,000 copies for a first-time untested writer is almost unheard of. Like, you'd actually be surprised that a lot of big books, even a lot of big publishers, don't get immediately 100,000 copies immediately set to print. They might only get like 50,000, 70,000, 80,000. If it's 100,000, that means that the publishing house is expecting really good sales, because if they don't sell those 100,000 copies, that is a loss for them. And so I'm like, yeah, I think you're being had. To pay $5,000 to them when they should be the ones footing the bill? Yeah, that doesn't sound kosher. That's a lot of money up front, even if you are expected to kind of share a little bit of the weight and responsibility. And then 100,000 copies for a first-time author, that doesn't happen. So pay attention to the contract and think a little bit about what you're being offered. Now then, with that rant, I actually do, as I said, I do want to show this story. I think that I think that's good, not just simply be all like, yeah, I'm going to complain that this one story isn't getting as much attention as I wanted to get. So let me then share my screen.
I'm gonna go ahead and head out, Lars.
All right, Nate. Thanks for being here.
I'll see you later. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Have a good one.
All right, so let me share my screen with you here. All right. So, again, Viz and Manga Plus have this first chapter up for free for anyone to check out, but I do want to go through it at first, right here, and just talk about, like, yeah, this is good. This is good stuff. So, the spirit warmed the warrior's freezing fingers and provided power. Thus, the evil king fell. The warrior became a hero, and having fulfilled its duty, the spirit melted back into nature. So, here we then have snow being melted, ice and snow being melted into water. The calendar says it should be summer now, and yet, so we got Odor of the Flame. And then we get introduced to a completely frozen overworld where it's supposed to be summertime, and yet everyone is dressed up like it's the midst of winter. You can tell by how these people are drawn that they have a very rough life. And we get introduced to our protagonist here, Odor. And we got and again, I mean, it's shonen, so it's going to be catering to younger audiences by using a younger protagonist. If it were me, I would probably have aged up Odor more, but that's just me, and that would immediately then cast this out of the shonen realm and take it more into seinen. But yeah, so we get introduced to Odor and his young sister. Odor, welcome home and good morning. Son, happy birthday. Are your fingers cold? Gross, you're the worst. As he's like trying to breathe on her fingers, give her warmth. I'm not gross. We'll be eating good this year. Remember, I used to sulk saying our meals are too small. I never sulked. This year, we'll boil elk, loin, and lingonberries. And Odor. Whoop. Oh, crud. It's blocked. Can't do any more. Shall refresh. There we go. Refreshing the page. Odor, is it true that you're going to the fortress? I know you're a nice guy, but you can't say yes to every offer someone makes you. This is different from elk hunting. And besides, you don't have the guts to hurt someone. I'm only going to be a cook. My duties will be keeping the fires lit and warming up mead. I really wish I could fight as a warrior like our dad, but they said no to children. One winter many years ago, the Ice Kingdom began its wars of aggression. It was as if the winter allied with them. The war went on for many years until all the crops of the once lush green forest kingdom died, and its ports froze over. And then at some point, my little sister stopped making selfish requests. The tales of exceptional warriors are passed down through sagas, even after their deaths. If I were a warrior and had the power to defeat the Ice Kingdom... And so here we have Odor then telling one of those sagas. The spear of Yinga, the hero of the northern seas, pierced the whale and cleaved the glacier. And yet, so, orphans. Because, sorry, I'm such an unreliable big brother. No parents there. all alone in this big house on the brink of destruction because of this unending winter. Say, I remember when I first started reading this, I was a little bit disappointed at first because it wasn't quite as grabbing of a hook as Hunter's Guild Red Hood. But after reading more of the story and coming back to this, I'm like, you know what? I really do appreciate the detail that was put into the artistry of showing just how bedraggled these characters have become, how the world has changed because of this war and this unending winter. And you can see the desperation. And I find that to be really, really good. If you go up and look, if you actually go looking at a lot of manga right now, you'll find that a lot of manga really do not have the kind of detail or soul that's happening on the page in each panel that gives you an idea of what this world is like, of who these characters are in the backgrounds. Now, like I said, though, it's not maybe the most gripping of first chapters. I'll definitely admit that. But so we got Oda. He's going to leave. The village are giving him things to take as he leaves. They swear that they're going to take care of his sister, and of course his pay from the army is going to go to her to take care of her for a whole year. She gets 1 year's worth of pay. And as we come actually to find out later on, he also kind of expects to die, because if he dies, the military will then give even more money to his sister. So we have these depictions of a fantasy Viking life. It's definitely no Vinland Saga. And I think that might be, again, one of those things where people are like, this isn't Vinland Saga. Why should I care about this? Just because the story looks a certain way doesn't always mean that it is. Let the story tell it. Let the story explain itself. But again, I'll pick up here. I love the detail that we get in these images. Like, you see the fortress, and not only is there snow blowing everywhere, it's encrusted over in ice, but it's not looking, it's dilapidated. Walls are caving in, the scaffolding is exposed. Where exactly are the watchmen? I mean, this place just looks dilapidated. You've got some defensive lines, but where are the guards? Like, this is a place that is falling apart. And then, so here we go. These are the herbs for the wounded. Help us unload the cargo. Let the soldiers rest. Any ale around here? In this chaos, here you've got the soldiers. You can still wield a sword? Yeah. I figure I'll keep fighting till I die. The guy says as he pops an arrow that's embedded there in his shoulder. The blood squirting. My door to Valhalla hasn't opened yet. Says a guy who has put a tourniquet on his leg and is about to get the flesh seared shut. I'll fight again and die. As another man is just absolutely bedraggled and disfigured by combat. You get a very good feel of what kind of war these guys are fighting, which, again, I love that this is what is communicated here in this shonen story. I can compare this right now to two of the manga for, like, supposedly the big shonen anime that are right now premiering, Togen Anki and the one about trash. It's like Gachi Maka or whatever. Those ones, the anime, definitely do a credit to those stories as best they can, because Togen Anki moves so fast. You don't know who these characters are. Like, 14 episodes in, I still don't know who these characters are, and I don't really care. For the other one, the story is really interesting, but if you actually bother and going and reading through the manga, it spends way more time trying to show how the characters look rather than capturing this trashy world. Once it shows that, yeah, this world is trash, it then moves on. The anime, again, does it a real credit. Kawaguchi doesn't have the benefit of an anime. He is putting in all the detail necessary in each panel. So, Cook, hurry up and get to the kitchen. Here we're introduced to our first muscle mommy. Thank you, Kawaguchi. Don't stray from your battlefield. And again, you get a good idea of who these characters are. this rough and tumble woman who looks like she's also been through quite an ordeal. She's got her own scars. She's dirty, and there she is eating a fish in a rather disgusting manner. And it's the attitude of someone who's like, I just need sustenance. I don't care. I'm Alayoki, the captain of this fortress. Your name? Odor. Nice to meet you, cook. Warm mead is this fortress's lifeline. Make sure you never let the fires go out, but you need to ration the firewood too. Go on, get to work. Okay. So, Odor, completely, not necessarily overworked, but completely given over to the work necessary to keep this already crumbling, dilapidated fortress operating to any extent. And the fact that you also then have all of these tents up in the middle of the fortress lets you know that this is an overcrowded place. It's got way too many soldiers there. Again, the detail involved is just fantastic. So, Odor then in the kitchens, may the spirits protect you. See, blows, almost like he blowed on his sister's hands there into the hearth. What are you doing? I just feel like breathing on it. Makes the fire last longer. It's not kind of a good luck spell, huh? Still, be careful. Breath is part of the soul. It's why your chest starts to hurt when you run and why the dead stop breathing. At least that's what a shaman told me. In any case, they say breath has some magical significance to it. Fire may be lasting longer because it's swallowing some of your life, you know? Don't let it swallow up everything and kill you. Any questions? If not, I'm out of here. May I have a sword? My father died in the battlefield and journeyed to Valhalla. I want to fight as a warrior, too. Everyone's risking their lives and fighting. If I stay back here and let others protect me the entire time, how will I ever be able to face my father? Although I suppose if I die as a cook, I won't be able to see him at all. Of course you will. Whether you're a cook or an armor polisher, everyone on the battlefield is a warrior. This is your battlefield. You fight to protect everyone's mortal flames. Live, fight, and die. Cook. So, there we have it. We got a little bit of some foreshadowing and some world building for stuff that's going to happen here rather soon. And we understand now the mentality of these people, of these Vikings. They expect to die. This has been an absolutely hopeless war. And that is something that you don't get, even in a lot of shonen that try to be angstier and darker. You don't get in a good, subtle way just how desperate and forlorn and lost these people feel most of the time. It's either just immediately stated to you, then with some dark emphasis, which gets the point across, but it feels at times like a 2x4 to the face, and it's overdone. It's not refined. So, I'll do my best. Guess it really is summer. The sun isn't going down yet. Ah, yes. An author who actually understands how the sun moves up understands how the sun moves up in the northern hemisphere. Now, the enemy attacks. Enemies attacking. The Ice Kingdom is upon us. And here we just get some good brutality. And I mean, this is probably more of a personal take on this, but I feel like you don't need Chainsaw Man levels of blood and just the unending amount of intestines flopping all over the place to communicate just how violent battle is. You already get the point across with just the viscera that's already there, the imagery of a man who's about to be eaten in the background, and everything else. This is a good dark fight. So as it proceeds, people wonder, like, how did they get into the fort in the first place? They must have dug tunnels through the columns in the ground and set a squad inside as giants break their way up through the ground and begin smashing people. And then here we have frozen dead warriors. Sulfo, but you died yesterday. And Sulfo cuts down his old buddy. The enemy general's a sorcerer. He's using ice curses to tie souls to corpses and control them. And there goes the lettuce. My cabbages! Oh, do not upset the cabbage guy. And here we got Odor. So, where's fire in here too? Ow, so hot. Destroy it. Odor is completely stuck and gets to watch as the flame gets stomped on out. The bonfires have been destroyed, Captain Bisbal. Victory is ours. Freeze them all. Turn them into more fodder for our army. And then you got soldiers getting frozen in place. Odor getting pinned. This is nice, kid. You get to be frozen. What a nice way to die. And then just gloriousness. The head getting split open by the captain. And then the captain gets frozen. Come on, Cook, run. Don't let the flame die. And what I like about this chapter as well is that it doesn't suddenly like open up with Odor being like, wait, now I've discovered a great power. I'm actually super strong despite my small body. But Odor looks around and just sees carnage, chaos, people being frozen in place, people being stabbed by their old friends, the fortress crumbling. And so, honestly, realistically thinking, am I going to die too? If I die on the battlefield, I'll get to go to Valhalla, and silver coins will be sent to the family members I leave behind. Sana won't have to worry about food for a while. This is great. By dying, I can save Sana. Through self-sacrifice, Yigna felled the great sea serpent, and the hero still sleeps beneath the waters of the unfreezable port to this day. I won't stop you, his sister said, from going to the battlefield. I know you dream of becoming a warrior. The way you annoyingly recite the sagas night after night is proof of that. Sorry, but don't try to accomplish something through death. Through death, the tales of warriors are passed down through sagas. That may be true, but didn't you also tell me once? The sagas of warriors who survived their battles and went on long journeys are the most epic and entertaining ones, right? Next time, I want you to tell me your own saga. I'll listen to it until the sun comes up if that's what it takes. Conquest complete. And they were so weak. Is this all the humans are capable of? And there he is, scrawny, beaten up Odor. A non-combatant? Boy, what are you doing over there? And I just love the detail right here. Getting so close to a fire, with just the way that the fire would affect someone of being up that close, being frozen all around him, the snow falling in the heat of the fire, then causing a thaw immediately around him. Just, it's such a good, raw look. I love it. At this point, when I was reading through it, again, as I said earlier, like it didn't immediately hook me. And then when I got to this part, I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting this. He's burning his own clothes? Have you lost your mind? You'll freeze to death. No, I won't. As long as I have a fire, I can melt everyone. I won't die. I won't let anyone else die. I don't need to become a hero. I don't need people to pass my tales down. I just need to leave this flame behind. That's all. This is my battle. A flamekeeper pretending to be a warrior, huh? Disgusting. You'll never accomplish anything, boy. Freeze him at once. So as he's about to get taken on by a crab monster, which is a favorite of Kawaguchi. Kawaguchi does love his crab monsters. Holy flame, give you both my body and my soul. Give you both my soul and my body. Just warm everyone else's bodies for me. Burn bright and may the spirits protect you. So he gives his breath, gives a part of his soul. What was that? I can't see anything through the steam as heat explodes everything around him. And then, whoosh, there goes the ugly crab monster. Glorious. And there we have Odor, standing with a burning sword. So, cool stuff right there. What is that sword? I'm melting. Those heat waves, I can't get near them. And then this fire speaks. Thanks for sharing some of your life with me. Are you a fire spirit? A spirit? Yes, that's what humans call me. I was born from the life you breathed into me, though through extremely primitive magic. Sorry, I don't really understand it either. I'm basically a newborn baby, but I'm not a sorcerer. I know. You're a warrior. Which means your duty is what? This is my thanks for giving me some of your life. Now I'm sharing my life with you too. And then, if you know your Hilda on Netflix, Draugr, kill him. The undead spirits, undead ghosts possessing corpses, in order to move about, charge him. So he's got to face against an entire army of the undead. And they're like, kill me. Our bodies are dead. He's controlling our souls. Let us die. As they scream as they charge against him. I Draugr are an undead army. They will continue fighting until their flesh rots and their bones crumble. And odor burns all these bodies away. Hey, get up. Why aren't you standing up? They've gone to Valhalla. I'm going to make you pay for what you've done. You meddled with the proud deaths of these warriors and defiled souls that should have gone straight to Valhalla. You destroyed my undead Draugr, but normal flames shouldn't be able to melt my cursed ice. This flame, it can't be. Our ideals clash, but you're a warrior too, so I'll send you to Valhalla. And begin a gorgeous, violent slash going on through. Again, if this were Chainsaw Man, we get all kinds of guts and, again, miles of intestines spilling all over the place. Instead, we get a guy burning up with one ridiculous slash. And then the heat thaws out all of the soldiers who were frozen in place. The sorcerer is dead! The curse is broken! Sulfo, Valhalla welcomes you. The enemy's retreating. Light the fires. Tend to the wounded. So this is a spirit's power. And here we got our little spirit. It's been so long since I've moved around. And then, I'll be honest, who knows exactly how you're supposed to pronounce this? Filja? Filja? I'm going to say with Filia, just because that sounds a little bit better than trying to say Filgia. From here out, I will live and fight with you. The fire turned into a person? Come on, it's time to fight. Let's end this endless winter once and for all. Why did you choose me? I don't know. I didn't really choose anything. Suddenly I was just burning inside of you. But I think I might know why. I've taken a liking to your warm heart. And you know what? That's all right there. Let's be honest. That's a better explanation than so many other shonen for why suddenly some random teenage boy suddenly gets some uber powerful character to now be a part of them, or to be their slave, or to be their familiar or summon. Usually it's just like, oh, this happened by accident. Well, you seem cute. I'm going to be with you now. Or, oh, I can just tell that you have a good heart. And in this case, I actually understand what it means. Odor's warm heart and what he has given to this fire spirit in return. Like, this actually makes sense. Again, this is, I'll be honest, better described, better done than like half of the shonen manga out there. So again, it's just another example, as what I said earlier, how it's a crying shame that this manga doesn't get more love or more recognition, why Kawaguchi doesn't get the praise he deserves. And it just comes down to luck. This just did not find its audience. And it could very well be because it's over in Japan. And maybe this would be way better received over in the West. Who knows? Or maybe I'm just hoping that it would be that way. In any case, those who seek death can't add more kindling to their stoves. Your heart was the warmest one on that battlefield, and I think that's all there is to it. Stick your chest out. You're a warrior who has been chosen by a spirit, Odor. Sorry, mine fading. Chosen by a spirit sounds like a line right out of a saga. And there you go. There is the first chapter, Odor of the Flame. At some point, I'll have to do a video breaking down like why this story, like breaking down, I think in far better detail than just my late night rambling, why this works so well. And also what it means for Kawaguchi to do the story the way that he has done. Because Hunter's Guild Red Hood was his baby. It got taken away from him. It got shut down. He can't do anything more with it. And so he took what he could out of Hunter's Guild and changed it in order to make a different story altogether. Authors actually do this quite often. And this is, I thought, was a great way to kind of make his comeback, to have his second chance. It's just sad that it's not turning out that way. Anywho's, and there we go. There's my rant for Odor of the Flame out of the way. Let's round off the night by talking a little bit about Glitch. So, to do that, let me actually pop back on over to here. We're going to get the endless swirl for a little bit. All right. So, to have a good, proper conversation about what Glitch just released, and the reason why I want to actually do this is not just because, yay, Glitch. I'm a sucker for Glitch. But I want to talk about the campaign that they are pushing through with this. It's not just simply, hey, guess what? It's Black Friday and we want to pass along savings to fans, and we love our stories. There's a little bit more going on with it. So let me pull up the commercial. So I downloaded it earlier.
Creators of Digital Circus, Murder Drone, The Gaslight District, and Knights of Guinevere comes an idea so fresh, so original, you'll only recognize it if you've played any video game ever made.
Glitch Cards!
Glitch Cards!
Glitchy Boy 64. In this gobsmacking new racing game, you'll...
Well, I'm just going to say this. I already love the fact that this is a playable game that you can do. Oh, man. This like already this is such a great idea. Yeah, you know what? People like Super Smash Brothers. People like Mario Kart in the way that you can bring in characters and their personalities adapted for a game. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that with our right now our big shows from Glitch. And it's a great way of continuing to show love for Murder Drones. Just gonna say.
You'll be able to play as a whopping some of your favorite characters.
Pardon my dust. I hope everyone you love dies!
We torched $5 glitchillion making this game, so we're gonna recoup costs with a Black Friday merch drop! Ladies and gentlemen, start your wallets!
Oh, man, isn't that so true? And you want to know what I genuinely appreciate? That Glitch is like, yeah, no, we need money. So buy stuff from us. Start your wallets. Honesty is honestly the best policy. And I already feel more like giving them my money because of that.
From the hit game you just heard about less than 10 seconds ago comes this limited edition Glitch Cart Plushie Collection. Featuring Boozy,
Fight this!
Pomni,
Well, it's possible that I'll win!
Princess Guinevere,
Hey, it's me, Princess.
Okay, I gotta bring this back just a little bit. First off, featuring. Oh wow, that's uncomfortable. But I love the nod for Pomni too, like how you always every single race. If you're up front and you feel like you're about to win, someone hits you with a lightning bolt or with a blue shell or with a bomb or the torpedo, and you just get taken down. You're like, oh come on! After all that hard work.
featuring Boozy,
Fight this!
Pomni,
Well, it's possible that I'll win!
Princess Guinevere,
Hey, it's me, Princess Guinevere. I'm walking here.
All right, so for having Guinevere not have her actual voice, two things. One, that is a great way of referencing the fact that Guinevere herself is broken and that within the show, the Guinevere that the characters are interacting with is probably going to be rather messed up. I mean, we've already gotten some good hints about that. But also, secondly, Knights of Guinevere is still something that while Glitch wants to make it happen, they are not yet able to say that they can greenlight a whole season. So far, my prediction is holding to be true. I said that we would probably have to wait until sometime this month to get any word of whether or not Knights of Guinevere will be greenlit. And one of the things that's rather shocking to me is that the show the pilot episode has not been climbing in views at all recently. It got its initial blowouts, but no one is coming back around to watching it. And because Glitch wants to do this show, but it needs to be viable. That's why they're going to be pushing Knights of Guinevere in this commercial. But also, I think that they're really hoping that through this very interactive means, I mean, this is something that they'd already been wanting to do ahead of time, but this is definitely like not that this whole campaign that they've made is meant to get people interested in Knights of Guinevere, but that this really is now them being all like, hey, Knights of Guinevere is still a thing. Please, please, please support it because we want to make it. But they can't make it if it's not viable. It must be financially viable for them to make it. So its pilot must prove that it can meet their configuring of 80% merch sales and 20% ad revenue to make up for the cost of the first episode.
Least but not last, Mel.
Damn right, I'm here to kick your ass.
Stop! Extra words cost extra money! Put the penalty to the penalty with this Dynamite poster featuring your favorite speed demon.
Not gonna lie, kind of want to get this.
Tearing it up so hard you can smell the gasoline. But galloping gumdrops, there's more. Isn't that right, President Emo Uzi?
I'm kinda busy, Kane.
We also kinda can't afford multiple recording sessions, so you're gonna have to record in the car!
Okay, first off, a couple of things. Voice actors don't get paid a whole lot, which is really sad. So it's kind of a jab at that. Also, they're making fun of sometimes making voice actors do stuff on the spot where they're not really prepared. Then also, there have been moments where some of the more recognized voice actors that people know and love today actually did their voice recordings for their big roles in their car. So, I mean, I don't know if that's exactly everything that that they're trying to wink and nod at through that right there, but I see it, I recognize it, and I will take it as that was absolutely intentional.
3, 2, 1, go!
Look, a statue. A scary, badass, like me if I fell asleep standing up. Curve. Jeez, my mom is a plush now. Pre and post near-death incident. Definitely won't be hard to repress that image.
Oh, yeah.
Watch it, jackass! Your dad left you for dead in episode 1. Shut up! It's sick as hell. I look sick as hell on it, and you'll look sick as hell wearing it. We finally have a gold plush. She's a lot softer, cuddlier, and less dead in a mine shaft than in the original.
Как мило с твоей стороны шутить над моей трагичной смертью.
Hey, no subtitles!
Oh man, poor Doll. Will there ever be justice for Doll? There might actually be more of a chance for justice for Doll than there is justice for Barb. Oof. Any Stranger Things fans in the chat?
Subtitles are expensive!
Oh god, it's a statue. Why do you do this to me? And why is this the pose you chose? I look like a victim. Why do you sound so stupid?
Pickle juice. Looks like our bug fix budget has bit the dust.
I think your stupid voice sounds wonderful, Blondie. It's me, Princess Guinevere.
Feast your eyes on this Gooseworks concept art print. What the hell is a Gooseworks?
Oh boy, I love it. Love the meta. And also, those are some good drawings right there. Also, what happened to Jax's neck? Yeesh.
Jax from the exciting digital circus dons Pommy's clothes.
Oh, I actually didn't realize this my first watch through, that we got rid of it right there. Oh. That is really messed up and really interesting. Huh. Well, I think we might be able then to expect that that we're going to get a little bit more of Jax's backstory in the next episode, if this is any indicator of things to come.
And this amazing new plush toy. Seamless segue into the Made Jax Animates. Note, please don't mention the anime figure, Jax. Seriously, you're gonna scare people away. Insert B-roll, call to action. I'm going home now.
Pardon the interruption. Don't mind me.
Oh man, going from tired and depressed Jax to Ragatha trying to pick me up at a bar.
Just
Say
a
what?
doll strolling in to add a little class to this sideshow.
Oh, I need me a tall
burn.
glass of water.
The Made Jax t-shirt is the Made Jax t-shirt for your wearing pleasure. Lily keychains of your favorite. Hinger Jax Hi, I'm Pomni.
Hey, my Pomni, I can take it from here. I'm in last place, but you can...
Be first place in my heart.
Yep. So there we have it. There we have the shift from broken Guinevere to actual voice actress of Guinevere.
By celebrating the magic of Park Planet with the Knights of Guinevere tote bag. Oh, good heavens.
You're so you died. You're so good at this. You know what? I want someone to get that tote and then go to Disneyland with it. And I bet that people will be like, "Where did you get that?" You're like, "I got this from the people who hate Disney."
Don't remember putting that in there.
I should absolutely. I should do that. I'll go to Disneyland one of these days with stuff from Knights of Guinevere.
Weeding! This is bullshit! I had bad pick! Keep gaslighting yourself.
Hey, that's a reference.
Hey, gaslighting. Yeah, that's a reference. Whoop. Oh.
We're putting that in there.
There we go.
Berry, I'm in first. Cover your skull with a Gaslight District beanie and rock the rest of your days away in style. And you know what else
Yeah,
rhymes
it's a
with
simple beanie. I don't know if I'd actually get something like that. Just for the creepy face on it.
I had bad pick. Keep gaslighting yourself.
Hey, that's a reference to the Gaslight District.
Well, it's possible. The amazing digital circus.
Wait, stop with the fisticuffs! You're gobbling up what's left of our itty-bitty budget! We've got to get through this before we run out of money! Purchase this purchase at glitchproductions.store. But you better hurry because our special Black Friday mega sale is going on right
so
now!
sales.
40%
If you
off
can
all
support
items
the
store-wide.
shows, definitely
The
do
sale
it,
ends December
especially
2nd, so don't waste a second,
especially
then treat
because
yourself.
they need the
Also,
merch
you
sales
can
in
play
order
Glitch
to
cards right
get
now.
Knights of
Also on
Guinevere up and running.
glitchproductions.store. It's somewhere on the site. I may have forgotten where, but anyway, there's a ton.
All right. Last thing I want to do tonight is actually, I want to see if we can find this game and possibly play it. Because if so, that'd be epic. And if not, then then Kane did say he forgot where exactly he put it. So let's have a little bit of fun. We'll try this out. So. Again, share the screen. Alrighty. Okay, so let's see here. Where are we going to find this? I have not looked ahead of time, so I'm completely in over my head, at odds, at a loss, dazed and confused. Where exactly doth one go to find the game? Should the game even exist? So, I see. That's how you pop yourself on up there. Home, collections, hidden somewhere is the game. And the whole point for trying to find the game and then actually playing it is that the people who have the best scores by the time that the sale is over will then receive prizes. And so, why not? There we go. Glitch cards. Okay, let's try this out. As some of you guys know, I am not a good gamer. So, this will be very, very interesting to play. All right, Kane's glitch carts. Please ensure you've logged in and start the time trial mode. Please also record your gameplay and upload to a video hosting site and link your video in your profile to be eligible for the prize. Okay. Competition ends November 26th. Top player wins a mystery prize. Ooh, my. So press escape to show the mouse again. Well, let's see. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Okay, so, oh boy, I am not a good keyboard player. So we got W to use, A and D to drop, then right and left to look, shift to break and reverse, press on up to use, and E to drop. Okay, so A and D to actually to steer, E to drop, space to drift, and down to boost. Okay, well again, I am not a keyboard player, so this is going to be something else. Continue without logging in. Yes, we're going to continue without logging in. Caution, this may take a few minutes. Well, I am nothing if not a patient man. I'm really not all that patient. All right. Meanwhile, looks like we've got Too Good in the lead with Gwen. Seems like Gwen is our big main right here. So I wonder if that's something then to think about. I should use Guinevere when doing this. I mean, whenever I do Mario Kart, I'll be honest, I'm kind of a sucker for Yoshi. There we are. All right. Let's see here. What should we use? Let's go with Uzi. All right. Okay, here we go. This is going to be very entertaining. Because, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm not a keyboard player. Oh, these graphics are state of the art. Oh. Okay. Oh. Yeah, don't worry. I'm feeling the exact same thing, Uzi. Oh. Yeah, there we go in the water. I went to the drink. And, oof. I ain't doing so hot. All right. Back us up. There we go. Well, maybe one day I'll get good at this. I got corn. And it is so nice. Not have to worry about running into other players. I just go at my own speed, my own way. Ah. Ooh. All right. I got absolute solver. How? Wow. What the heck? Oh, I get a glitch out because of that. 。 How the heck am I in third? Alrighty. Okay, so there we go. Oh, fastest time. All right, my fastest time was. Yeah, let's retry. Well, we're trying. I think we'll call it good for tonight. Man, again, I've got mad respect for the people who play video games constantly on streaming. Definitely not my kind of thing. Because you got to have the charisma. You got to be able to keep on talking. You got to know what you want to say, what you want to do. And you got to rev it up. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you stole that from me, Gwen. There we go. Ha ha ha. Oh, Gwen. Ha ha ha. Yes. With my knife. Oh, you will pay for that. Nope. Went into the drink. I need to stop. I need to get used to not using my my arrow keys to actually direct the car. Ah, come on, Mel. I will remember this. Oof, Mel. There we are. Just say cement a whole bunch of times. Yeah, I got my revenge. All right, that was better than last time. All righty. Well, let's see what we got. What we got going on for us next? Now loading. All right. Okay, so there you have it. Well, that was fun. So, for anyone who wishes to check out Glitch Carts, there it is. Definitely a a low budget little game right there, but that was fun. All right. Well, we've been going now for a little more than 3 hours, and I think that is enough. Hope you guys enjoyed spending time with Camille, Scott, and Nathan. It was great. We got most of the harem here tonight, even if not all together at the same time. We enjoyed some writing memes. Definitely talk some good writing experiences. I got to unload a little bit about my frustrations surrounding Odor of the Flame. Not that's a bad story. I personally find it great. It's just how it's been received. And we had a little bit of time to reflect on Glitch Productions and their new fun shenaniganery and gimmicks. So, with all that being said, hope you guys have a wonderful evening, morning, day, wherever you are at. I hope to be back again with another video here real soon. And until then, you guys take care and tschüss.